How is everyone doing? Let me turn down this a little bit. Hi, Leon X8, how you doing? Give me 1 minute. There we go. Hello, everyone. Let's see who we got up in here. I love the Sakura ham. Thank you. Thank you, Only Striker fan. Hi, Kindred Souls. How you doing? Luna Blue. Hello. Mihai, how you doing? Looks like we got the whole gang here tonight for the most part. Scrimpy Onion. Hi, hi. X-Ray loves VTubers. Hello. How you doing? Starting off strong with Mario Paint. Yes, I'm a big fan of that song. Mario Paint is such a goated soundtrack. Let's see who else we got here. We got Smug JC, Mo, Cadet Remy, Julio Catalan, I believe. Hope you all been pretty good. I'm glad you're doing well, Julio. James J. Jameson, how you doing? Record 1 in here. Jade Simpson. Hello, how you doing, everyone? Demaru, hello. Glad you could come back and join us tonight. It's a little bit of a late stream. I didn't intend for it to be super late, but the streaming OBS was acting up again, unfortunately. Something with an update I just installed, but we got it going. And it's going on YouTube and Twitch, so we're good. Pop Rock, how you doing? Paprika Maru, hello, hello. I'm glad I can finally catch one of your streams. I love your YouTube content, and I've been so excited to catch your VTubing streams. Thank you so much. It's been pretty fun. I'm getting used to streaming. In addition to multitasking YouTube content, I got a long video coming out on YouTube, and I'm also putting up content on the VTuber account too on the YouTube. So it's been a cool adjustment period. It's been a lot of fun learning all this. D-Bond, how you doing? Well, yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. We're just hanging out. Again, I didn't intend for this to be as late as it ended up being. I just had to do more troubleshooting again, unfortunately. But it worked out. I guess that's just part of multi-streaming. Glad it's been lots of fun. Thank you, Kindred Souls. Shane Sims 116, how you doing, friend? I hope you guys are all having a good night. Those who have not said so yet. Neo Turbo, how you doing? But it's gonna be a pretty chill stream. We're just gonna hang out, maybe game. Probably not a super long stream because I started a bit late. But I do want to get streaming more, frequently, especially since I just made Twitch affiliate, and I want to keep the ball rolling. Hello, Chameleon, how you doing, friend? I am just working while enjoying your stream in the background. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me on as your background noise. Doing good. Just got done playing Kirby Air Riders with Good Vibes Gaming. Oh, nice. I met someone with Good Vibes Gaming last year at PAX. Very nice dude. But the Kirby game though, I wanted to that like test the test race thing is what you're talking about, and I almost did that last night, but the first one started at midnight, and then I just was like, I don't want to stay up that late, I'm tired. So I went to bed early, and then I just totally forgot about it. So I want to try it myself. I have it installed on my Switch, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Hi Scribbles, how you doing? Nice stream is going on right now. Nice. Oh my god, notice me, yes. I'm trying to keep track of everyone, Neo Turbo. Doing my best. Multi-streaming definitely has its hiccups, but yeah, I'm doing it. It's working. It's fun but chaotic. Nice. I remember playing the original Kirby's Air Riders. No, Kirby's Air Ride, I believe. I rented it from a Hollywood Video when I was like 10 or 11, and I had a lot of fun with it. I remember it didn't really have much of a story or much going on as far as like single-player stuff. So I didn't really latch on to it for a while, like for a good amount of time, but I love that like multiplayer, that like open world mode of the original where you could like choose different motorcycles or like things you could ride on. I always love that like one-eyed motorcycle wheel thing and like the ice cream truck. Those two are my favorites. But yeah, I'll probably play it later on when I have a chance. Hi, Asaka, how are you doing? Hi, Juan M, how you doing? I'm doing good. It's been a Wheelie, that's his name. You're absolutely right. That takes me back. City Trial, yep, that is correct too. That is exactly what I was thinking. But, I'm doing good. Been a slow evening. I just spent a lot of time troubleshooting OBS, but we're just gonna do a quick little chill stream. And, yeah, doing pretty good. I have some tea with me. I got some pumpkin Rubios tea. It's pretty good. I got it from Trader Joe's. She is only tweaking out right now because I was drinking from the mug. Didn't catch my face there. The McDonald's near me had a GameCube with Air Ride in every Play Place area. That's a vivid memory of my childhood. Same. Not Air Ride specifically. I remember being near a McDonald's though, and my mom like taking me to the Play Place after school, and it had Pikmin. Let's see, it used to have N64 games, and then they upgraded to the GameCube games, and they had like Smash Melee. They had Pikmin. I think that Wave Race was one of them. But that was good times. Those crusty ass like GameCube controllers. Really good times. I never played Pikmin like at home, but I did play it a lot in the Play Place for some reason. And then I never really picked up Pikmin at home until later on. I remember you asked if the Sonic Racing game was worth playing. I think it is. Oh, thank you, Paprika Maro. Yeah, no, I'm thinking of getting it. The biggest deciding factor is right now it's $70 on Steam, and I'm not sure if I want to pay $70 on Steam just yet. And there's other games I want to play right now. Like, I'm thinking of doing a Yakuza, like, marathon. And not like a full marathon where I play them all at once, but rather, like, each stream, I'll just keep playing. Like, I'll start with Yakuza 0. I'll play, and then I'll get to go to Kiwami. And then I'll go to Yakuza Kiwami 2. And then when Yakuza Kiwami 3 comes out in, I think, February, then we'll play that. So that was my plan. We'll still do like lost media stuff in between, but I thought like as far as gaming, maybe I can just like power through those because I love the Yakuza games, and it's my personal opinion that starting with 0 is the right way to play through the Yakuza games just to understand all the characters properly, or specifically one specific character properly. But yeah, there's other side characters that you could understand better by playing 0 first, so that's just my personal opinion. The McDonald's I went to for my cousin's quinceañera only had Sonic Riders still working. That's interesting. I forgot the first Sonic Riders was on the GameCube, and I had that game. I didn't play a lot of it. But I remember my grandma got me Gems Collection and Sonic Riders, and I played a lot of Gems Collection, like 'cause it had Sonic CD. But I never really played much of Riders. I don't know why. It was a fun game. I just never really like latched onto it for some reason. Would you play Air Riders with the viewers at some point? Maybe, Pop Rock. I'll think about it. Pretty excited to play Kiwami 3. I played 3 during the winter and loved it. Once I got used to the combat. Yeah, no, like, I wanted to play, like, a few years back when they released, like all the, like, the Yakuza collection with all the games. I was thinking of getting that, because, like, I was a little bummed, because it was, like, right after Kiwami 2 came out. And I was like, oh, does that mean they're not making a Kiwami 3? So I just, like, play the other games that are released so far. And, no, I'm kind of glad I didn't do that, because, I feel like Kiwami 2 is such a good-looking game. It's such a great remake, and there's so much, like, cool additional content that they added. So I'm super, super glad they are doing, Kiwami 3. Do you like Ichiban being in the new Sonic Racing? I think that's really funny, yeah. I'm not a huge Ichiban fan. You know, I'm more of a Kiryu fan. Majima's my favorite character, though, absolutely. But, I mean, I think that's really funny. I also like that Miku's in there. I think, like, if they're gonna, like, rival Mario Kart, they should do something really funny and, like, silly like that, and I think that's really a really good idea. And, like, that's not a new thing of them putting, like, other Sega characters in the racing games with Sonic. Like, the one on the Wii U. I had a Wii U. I had a Wii U, and there wasn't a lot going on the Wii U, but one of the launch titles I got was that Sonic Racing game. I think it was Sonic Racing Transformed, and I remember they had, like, the Jet Set Radio guy, I think his name's Beat. They had a few other characters. I can't think of them off the top of my head. They had quite a few. I think a Shenmue guy was in there, if I recall. But, yeah, no, I think that's funny. I like when they do that, long story short. I'm interested in Yakuza, but they have so many games. But there's so many games. I would tell you to start with Yakuza 0, and I think now's a great point to do that, because even if you have, like, it's on, like, the Switch now, right? Or the Switch 2. I'm pretty sure it's on Switch. And, it's also on Steam. I got it on Steam for, like, $20. It's a PS4 game, but if you got PS5, you can just play it on PS5. Like, it's super accessible still. And, Yakuza 0 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. So I would definitely start with that. And then once you know these characters well, then play Yakuza Kiwami. That's my recommendation. You could absolutely start with Kiwami because that is technically the first Yakuza game. But I think, you know, you get more out of the story if you start with Zero. That's just my personal opinion. Yep, start with Zero, and if you like it, if you like it, definitely try the Kiwami games. Yeah, that's my opinion. The Kiwami games are definitely a little more polished, especially Kiwami 2. But yeah, I would absolutely start with Zero. And Zero's fun. There's a lot of fun mini games. The karaoke's in the karaoke's a huge staple of these games. Like, it's a game about, like, Japanese organized crime and the shenanigans that come about from that. But the mini games, like the crane game, the little mini racing game in Zero, the karaoke mini game, the Nugget, the chicken. You gotta play Zero so you can see Nugget the fucking chicken. Like, that in itself, like, you gotta play Zero for. It's a great game, like, for real. Like, aside from that, like, it's so silly, but at the same time, the story is so good. It is so good. I started Yakuza 0, but that was on my old laptop that struggled to play Minecraft, so I didn't play too much of it. Oh, I'm sorry, Scribbles. I would recommend trying it again whenever you're ready to, but I know that feeling. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is coming out on PS5 next month. Nice! Okay, so super accessible. It's a pretty old game. I think it came in like 2014. It's not like super cutting edge. It doesn't look like the newest Yakuza games, but it's a really good one, and it's a really fun one. And everything about it is just, I love it so much. Like, I can replay it endlessly, I think, probably. I love the Sega games they put in each one. Do you mean the Sega characters, Paprika Maru? I don't think I'm understanding well, but I'm a big fan of Sega games, too. I like Sonic, I like Yakuza. I'm glad they own the rights to Hatsune Miku for the Miku games, too. I'm not a huge Miku fan, but I like what they're doing with Miku. The arcade games in Yakuza. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, they put, like, yeah, I forgot which one was in Zero. But yeah, no, you're right. And in the pirate one, the newest Yakuza game, the Pirate in Hawaii one, there's like a Sega Master System. You can just play. There's like a whole ass Sega Master System emulator in there. It's so cool. I need to get back and play more of Judgment, but man, I burnt myself out of the Yakuza games. Played through 0 through 6 during the winter, and man, it was a lot. Yeah, no, I played Zero, Kiwami, and the Kiwami 2, I want to say in like 2019. And then I just kind of fell off a little bit, just because it does burn you out. A Zero I could, like, replay endlessly, but, like, when you play enough of it, like, because it is kind of a beat-em-up game, it does get a bit repetitive. Konnichiwa! Perry Robato. Robert Perry? Hello, how are you doing? I was trying to figure out some katakana over there. Golden Road Radio Station, Woo, a soccer team. Thank you for making it, friend. I'm glad that everyone's here. I'm having a great time. Yep, stream time, Smith Zero. How you doing? I remember McDonald's I went to had Taken the Power of Juju on GameCube. Oh my gosh, that's a game I've never played. But as far as, like, platformers like that, I did play, like, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. Shout out to anyone who remembers that game. I remember liking it a lot. It's very Australian. Bayonetta and Vanquish are my favorite Sega games. Oh, I forgot about Bayonetta. Isn't that Platinum, though? Or was it originally Sega, like, before Nintendo acquired it? I don't know much about Bayonetta. Oh, Tyler F., I'm doing good. How you doing? Hollywood Video, I was a Blockbuster kid. I went to both because my family moved around a lot, and whatever we were closest to, I guess we would just go to that. Loved every bit of it, but yeah, would recommend to sprinkling some other games in between, especially making the jump from Kiwami to original games. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was my thing. Like, wasn't sure if I wanted to, like, backtrack to a PS3 game after playing Kiwami 2. Like, I don't have any issue with, like, older games visually, like, you know, I grew up with, like, N64 games, and, like, my first console was, like, a SNES. Like, the N64 was already, like, out by the time I had an SNES, but my parents got me an SNES first, because I guess it was cheaper. Like, they still had them in stores by that point, and, like, they're, like, around 2000, the year 2000. And, that was my first console. So I have an appreciation for older games, and I don't mind if older games are a little rough around the edges. Because even if they didn't age well, I can still get, like, enjoyment out of them. But I feel like that would have been just such a sharp, like such a strong whiplash at the time. I just wasn't ready to do it, so I just didn't. I was just hoping for Kiwami 3, and now it's coming out. So, you know, there we go. Bought Ty the Tasmanian Tiger from EB Games when I was a kid and played it for dozens of hours. No, I remember EB Games. Oh my gosh. I bought GameCube games for an EB Games in the mall. And it was next to a Borders. Like, rest in peace to Borders, too, if anyone remembers that bookstore that used to be in malls, Borders. I used to get manga from there, like Full Metal Alchemist and Inuyasha and Mermaid Melody, like stuff like that. God, I miss Borders. And, yeah, no, but I went to EB Games a lot. And now that EB Games is now a GameStop. And I worked at that GameStop for almost 2 years, so that's something. A jump scare? What? Nani? I think Platinum had got help with licensing from Sega. I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't remember exactly the whole lore of that. Your title is still set to Halloween one. Oh my god, is it? Hold on. I changed it on, oh, it is! Ah, dang it. I changed it. I had to mess around with the stream key a lot, like, before I came online, so that's probably why. Hang on a minute. I just learned, by the way, that I can change things from from the Twitch app. Hi, 7 Deverly Streamers, how you doing? I bought Weekly Show and Jump magazines from Borders when they were still publishing in English. Oh my god, I remember that. And they had Shoujo Beat. I freaking love Shoujo Beat. But thank you, Leon. I'm gonna change the stream title now. What did I change it to the YouTube? I don't even remember. I just write whatever comes to mind. Lost Media Stream. Let's see. What did I call it? Lost Media Mysteries and maybe Gaming. That's pretty much all it is, yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah. Come talk about niche stuff with me. That sounds, yeah. I don't know how to do Twitch titles, by the way. Because I see some people have, like, freaking paragraphs on their streams. Of, like, a bunch of, like, different, like, buzzwords and shit. Paprika Mar. Boo. I'm up for Scare Sakura stream, though. No, I thought that'd be a fun idea during Halloween. Like, to send me scary videos, and then I'd react to them. And then I just forgot to actually do that. Because, like, the VOD's still up for my Halloween stream, and all we really did was, like, read about the Max Headroom incident, and, Pink Morning cartoon. We talked about that. Just, like, creepy Lost Media and stuff. Need to hire an isekai author to write your stream titles. No, for real. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, they have, like, 3 different sentences talking about things, and it's probably has something to do with partner stuff and, like, sponsors. I just don't know how to do it to, like, utilize it, because I'm still, like, I'm still so new to Twitch. Like, I'm barely, like, figuring out how to use it. And I notice a lot of people, like, because I started following the Twitch subreddit, and people are, like, in such a rush to, like, make partner. And I noticed there's a lot of people using the phrasing partner push. Like, guys, I want a partner push. We gotta make partner. Come on, guys. I have goals. And, like, I'm like, man, I'm cool with affiliate right now. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now. So, like, where I'm at is just fine. It's just fine. Like, Twitch is so new to me, just coming from YouTube. But, yeah, no. I'm just happy where I'm at, and I'm thankful to actually make affiliates so quickly. Because, like, I'm kind of starting from scratch on the YouTube, not the YouTube, on the VTuber account. Like, I was initially thinking of just streaming on main, on Sakura Stardust, to, like, you know, because I already have, like, 200k, 222k over there. But, yeah, I didn't. I just decided to start fresh and have a second hustle. And I'm happy that it's doing well so far. People want the Twitch money ASAP instead of having fun. Yeah, no, for real. Like, you still do make revenue with affiliate. I guess just not as much. And I think partner, you get pushed to the front of the page more easily or something. I'm okay with where I'm at. Like, I already have like my YouTube channel. And I like just doing this as a casual thing, just to connect with my audience, talk about lost media, talk about things I'm passionate about, be myself a bit more instead of like worrying about how professional my videos are, if that makes sense. I feel there's a lot more pressure with my deep dive videos like over on YouTube. So I like this. Speaking of which, I have been editing this long ass like hour and a half long video for Sakura Stardust. So I hope y'all are ready. Like that has been I keep having to delay it because I keep adding shit to it, and that's totally my fault. But it's coming. It's coming. And I did post a video like right before Halloween. If you guys haven't seen it, on like haunted ghost spots, I made a sequel to my original video I did in like 2023. Yeah, for titles, just put whatever. Honestly, people usually do joke titles, what game they are playing, a list of what they plan to do on stream, or very specific things. Interesting, yeah. I'll get used to it. I think if I just be myself, I'll just figure things out from there. Like, I've been trying to watch more streams, too. I've been trying to watch more VTubers. I honestly, like, I'm so new to VTubing, too. Like, I knew about Iron Mouse because she has a chronic illness, and I just thought she was so inspiring based on that alone. And, that made VTubing so appealing to me personally because I personally have a neurological condition and struggle with my health a lot, so my schedule with uploading and streaming is wonky, and I think this is a really great outlet to just like connect with people. But as far as VTubers as a whole, I don't really know many of them. And I'm still trying to learn like the community. And whenever I try and look up VTubers, I always see so much drama in relation to certain VTubers. So I'm still like trying to figure out who are the ones I should check out and watch for like inspiration, you know, if that makes sense. I have watched what was her name? I think her name's Limut. She's with I think she's with Vsauce. And I think Vsauce is the right one. I always confuse Vsauce and Vine Sauce. I'm pretty sure. But Limu, she's cool, and her model is so pretty. And the rigging is amazing, like the way she talks. I like her a lot. I like Pumpkin Potion too, the rubber hose one. She's really funny, and she has a lot of funny GameStop stories that I can relate to, like a ton. And Iron Mouse is cool too. She's funny. I've checked out a few of her streams so far. Watched a few of her VODs. I'm just trying to learn the community a little better. But yeah, there's a few I've checked out. I just don't really know a whole lot, I guess. And then there was one, I think her name's Alara, and I keep getting her model on Twitter. I keep seeing her model and like reference sheets for it, and she's very well endowed in the bust area. I'll just say that. And that's the first thing that comes to mind whenever I think about her. Pumpkin is cool, and I think it's so cool to like utilize different art styles. Like I want to like, my goal is to utilize, like, a 90s anime art style. Like, how she kind of has the rubber hose stuff. Like, I don't want to look like I don't want to look like a modern anime model. I want to look more like a vintage anime model. And I think that's something that takes a bit of, I think that's just something that, is a bit tricky. Because, like, vintage shoujo anime and manga specifically uses very fine lines. But, I think the person I hired to do the art and rigging for my model did a great job at, like, what my vision was. But yeah, you'll learn that many VTubers are well endowed. No, for real. And, like, I kind of want to make Sakura a little more busty. But, that'll be a little later down the line. I'm happy with how she looks now. I think she is beautiful just the way she is. Thank you, Mihai. I won't give her, like, fucking, like, calcium cannons or anything like that. I just mean, like, just a little curvier. Just a little curvier. Like, she's still gonna be tiny because she's a fairy. Her canonic height is, like, 4 feet or something. Thank you, Rivacello. Lol. Yeah, no. But I like how she is now. Just when I, like, change her outfit up and stuff later on. Like, I don't want to, like, change her design, but, like, the different outfits and hairstyles, and like when I'm like a bigger VTuber and I can afford to constantly change that up, then I'll do that. But I'm excited for when I can. Hi, I usually don't watch live streams that much because I live in Ireland, but I really enjoy hanging out here. Thanks for the streams. Thank you so much, Pop Rock. And hello to Ireland. I'm over in like the United States myself on the West Coast. That is so cool. I often forget there's so many people in like different parts of the world just all over watching my stuff, and that really warms my heart. It makes me like so happy, like for real. But we should get started with the stream. I do want to announce something kind of cool. How do you change Sakura's expressions in real time? they're mapped to buttons. So if I press 1, it's kind of tricky. It's 2 a.m. Damn, thank you for I just inhaled food. Sorry. Thank you for joining us, for real. Staying up at 2 a.m. watching this stream is like, thank you. That makes me very happy. But you get sleep if you need sleep, like for real. But yeah, the changer expressions, they're mapped to buttons. And I do need to map them to different buttons because they're mapped to numbers. So whenever I like type on Google or something, it changes her expression against her will. But to answer your question, Mihai, 1 is making her angry. I don't use this one a whole lot. I'm not really sure when. I'm sure the time will come eventually. Number 2 makes her sad. Sad Sakura. I'll go to bed in an hour. Okay. Just want to make sure you get your sleep, Pop Rock. Honestly, this probably won't be a super long stream, maybe an hour or 2. I've just been super low energy with like health related things. But do you have a Steam Deck? I don't have a Steam Deck, but I'm thinking of getting one. Okay, so 3 is happy, sparkles, and then I have 4. This one's probably my favorite. It makes her shocked. And if I press 4 and then 3, she has kind of a crazy, like, excited face. This one might be one of my favorites too. I can also make her happy and tear up. Hang on. Let me see. Can I mix? Yeah. Like, she's tearing up, and she's so happy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me. What is that emoji, Demaru? Trying to... Can't tell what it is. But, yeah, let's get into the stream content. I noticed I have a tendency to talk for, like, a half hour before I actually get into the... those are tears of joy. That's my, like, oh my god, guys. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Wait, I gotta do the order correctly, though, or else the expression won't be correct. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you for joining me, everyone. Yeah, no, it's happy. No, the yapping is the best part. Thank you, Leon. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if, like, people are, like, waiting to actually get into... especially if they watch the VOD. They're like, oh, this is supposed to be Lost Media. I want to watch Lost Media, but she's talking about other stuff for the past 30 minutes. Like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what people want to see. Again, I'm very new to streaming. But yeah. Anyways. I do want to make an announcement. Let me go on my web browser and make sure I have that up. It's nothing huge. It's nothing huge. It's just something cool I've been doing in the Lost Media community. Like, trying to do my part, I guess. Nom nom. Alright. Let me go to my main YouTube channel. I think that's where it is. By the way, I'm realizing not a lot of people know I am Sakura Stardust. I've been getting a lot of comments on, like, socials saying, are you Sakura Stardust? You sound just like her. And yes, that's correct. I am Sakura Stardust. If anyone's wondering. Anyways, posts. Alright, so the announcement. I'm gonna try and zoom out here so I have it on the screen. And then we'll switch over. I kind of gotta move her over to... Boop. She might be in the way of chat, though. Alright. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's V-Bridger. That should be fine. That should be fine. Alright. I've never seen Sakura Star VTuber and Sakura Stardust in the same room. Oh, damn. Oh, man, you're right. I've never thought about that. That's interesting. Well, Sakura Star is Sakura Stardust. No, for real, like, I get so many people saying, like, are you Sakura Stardust? They might not read the username. They just know the voice sounds similar, and they know that this VTuber is not something I use on my main account. So, you know. You are a VTuber. We are VTuber fans, and VTuber fans only want to see one thing. If you mean a big, old pair of great personalities, then, yeah. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Stuck at a collab win. Oh my god, I should, like, pre-record a, like, VTuber dialogue and, like, pretend we're collabing together. That'd be so silly. Scuff. What does scuff technically mean? Does that just mean, like, you know, are you L Supersonic Q? No, unfortunately I'm not L Supersonic Q, but I do know him and he's a great guy. Anyways. Here we are. Alright, here's my announcement. So, I teased a little while ago on, like, my Instagram that, I acquired, quote-unquote, Lost Media. And what I did, I got this I saw this about a month ago. I saw this Yahoo Japan auction for an arcade board for the Sega AS1 game Michael Jackson Scramble Training. It wasn't cheap, but my partner and I, we acquired it. And here it is, and I received it. And that sticker right there is proving that I'm the one who took the photo, because, you know, there's Sakura herself. But here's the thing. I'll read the post first, okay? And then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of, like, what's going on here and what this all means. But long story short, I really wanted to get into the lost media community a bit more. And actually, and what I mean by that, like, I know I make a lot of content, but my biggest thing was I wanted to help provide something and help be a part of the community and help recover media. Like, there's so many cases of, like, media being hoarded or people just doing not cool things, just not wanting to share and recover media and just wanting to cause drama or whatever. And I saw this arcade board. Well, I saw it because a friend of mine in the community actually sent me the link to it and was like, hey, I noticed this was up for auction. And I was like, oh, okay. And I wasn't on board at first, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, somebody could very easily buy this and just hoard it away forever, because that happened with a piece of lost media I have been looking for years now, since like 2019, and that's In the Distance by Yasuko Endo. I've mentioned this 100 times on stream before, but it's a Lost City Pop single that was never released. There's at least one or two, I'm not really sure, because I've seen two pop up online, like two photos that are different photos, but there's at least one in existence. It's a review copy, it's not a finalized copy, so it does still exist. But the lore goes, they were all supposed to be they were all supposed to be removed and, like, destroyed, and never released because the singer passed away before the release and her debut as an idol in 1986. So that's something I saw pop up on Yahoo Auctions, but unfortunately the auction had already ended when it came to my attention. And I saw that come and go, and it never got released, and it never got found. So when I saw this pop up, I was like, you know what? I gotta make sure nobody finds this. I gotta make sure nobody finds this and buys it, and if you just never see it again. So that's what I did. I my partner and I, we acquired it, and it's safe now. Now, that doesn't mean it's found. There's a lot more components to this. It's safe with me right now. It's preserved. Nothing bad's gonna happen to it. It's in good hands. However, here comes... Here, how about this? So it's for a game console. A console is not exactly the proper term, called the Sega AS1. And what the AS1 was is it's more of a machine, an amusement machine. If you guys have ever been to Disneyland and rode the ride Star Tours, think of it as like a really tiny... Oh, hang on. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. Well, I'm angry when I think about people hoarding media, but I'm not angry. Let me just fix my emotions here. Oh my god, a lost media VTuber. Hi, Sakurita. Hi, how you doing? How you doing, Jeremiah? Thanks for joining us. Oh, somebody, you just reminded me. I am so sorry. I didn't notice all the subscribers last stream. I did not get the notification. I gotta figure out how to put those on screen. But... genuinely, thank you so much for all the subscriptions, everyone. Like, somebody did at the beginning of the stream, too. Let me go find that. Oh my god, I didn't realize I was getting tier 1 subscriptions. You guys are so sweet. And I just want to say, like, because I noticed Jeremiah did last stream after the stream ended. So, before we go on, thank you so much for the subscriptions. I don't know why I didn't notice them. I'm sorry. But I do want to thank everyone who's subscribed thus far. Let me see. Oh, Pop Rock! Did Pop Rock give 1,000 bits too? Thank you, Pop Rock. Oh my god, let me get the freaking let me get chat up on Twitch, like right next to my freaking face, so I can see when these happen. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, thank you, Pop Rock. That is so sweet. J Carol 771 subscribe with Prime. Thank you so much. I forgot you can subscribe with Prime. I should do that for someone. I just don't know who yet. I think I might have subscribed to Maximilian Dude, like, ages ago, if anyone knows who that is. He's into, like, fighting games. Let's see, someone else did. Where is it? Nom 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 nom. Where somebody else subscribbled. And subscribbles cost money in this ballpark. It's not like YouTube, so I gotta especially be like, hey, thank you, everyone. Where the frick? Clip Sakura Star's best moments. And 7 Deadly Streamers did something too. Wait, I'm sorry. Okay, weekly top cheers, resets in one day. Pop Rock and 7 Deadly Streamers both cheered. Thank you so much, guys. Now what the? I'm sorry. I'm figuring this out in real time. I'm so sorry. Like it's very obvious. I'm very new to Twitch. Somebody else subscribed though. How can I get to my subscribers? Thank you, Mihai and Jeremiah. You guys are so sweet. I genuinely am always so worried if I'm like entertaining or like make good content. Like I just doubt myself a lot. So when people actually like say like, "Hey, I like your stuff," like that makes me so happy. Also, I'm sorry, YouTube chat. Let me take a look at what you all are saying. Hello Star, hello Donnie-chan. How are you doing? LP Tyler F. Maximilian is a goat. No, I love his streams. I've been watching him for like a decade. It's so crazy to me that dude is married with a child now. Like, I've been watching him since like 2014. Like when Smash reveals, like when they revealed Cloud in Smash Brothers on the Wii U. Like that's how long it's been. Let's see though. Who else? Someone else subscribed. Oh dang it! I can't find it. It's like a list. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. I can go in the app and just look. Hang on. All right, we got Twisted Smoke, subscribe with Prime. Thank you so much, friend. We got Jay Carroll, or Jay Carell. Thank you again. Pop Rock cheered 1,050 bits. Hi, I don't usually watch live streams that much because I live in... Oh, that's what the cheer was. Okay, my bad. It didn't tell me that was a cheer on the screen I was looking at. My bad. Hype train complete at level 1, 69%. Hey, yo. Vicious, subscribe for 1 month at tier 1. Thank you, Vicious1788. The hype train? What is the hype train, guys? What are all these new... What's all this new lingo? I feel like somebody's saying like 6-7 to me, and I'm like, what is all this? Alright, D-Bond297, subscriber at Prime. 7 Deadly Streamers, cheered 100 bits. Jump Scare, okay, that was what Jump Scare was. Let's see, Kindred Souls, subscribe. Thank you so much, Kindred Souls. Lousy Days, subscribed. That was a week ago, I'm sorry. Let me just get all the other people out of the way who subscribed that I forgot last stream. Draven Havoc, thank you so much. Jeremiah BLR, thank you for the bits last stream. I'm so sorry. Overnight Bear, Jeremiah BLR, Leon X8, Solid Ellipsis, Grand Tactician, Shooch, M Cooperative, and yeah, wait, is that it? Hang on, making sure. Yeah, because before that I was an affiliate. Thank you, everyone. I'm genuinely so sorry I missed that last stream, but I'm pretty sure I got everyone. Thank you again. Anyways, let me let me fix her face. Now let's get, what are we talking about? What are we talking about, gamers? I used to work covering converting VHS tapes to digital. I wonder how many of those tapes had lost media. Oh, for real. I have a ton of like VHS tapes that I archive myself, and I haven't archived them. What am I saying? I just store them, but I find them at like estate sales and yard sales that people are about to throw them out, and I keep them. And at some point I do want to like digitize them, but I don't know what is even lost media on those, but I'm sure there is some at least, like 'cause there's a lot of them. Right, let me just get my Twitch. There we go. The more people cheer and sub, the higher level you go, and your chat unlocks certain rewards. Interesting. It's like a video game. That's so cool. This is all so new to me. I feel like such a boomer. Hype Train is a frenzy where people are subbing and sending lots of cheers. Depending on the amount of cheers, the chat gets some special perks like chat emojis and other stuff. Okay, I gotta add emojis then. We gotta make this a party. Hoarding media makes me so sad, so does when something gets found to little to no fanfare. Yeah, there's a lot of things that just don't get very much attention when they get found, even though they were probably, like, should get the attention because it's really cool that people went through the effort to preserve them. So that's why I like to, like, I started making I started making found media shorts, and, just to try and, like, spotlight those more. I know other people have done it. I'm absolutely not the first. But I think it's really important to spotlight, like, niche lost media, too, is my point here. Choo-choo, whatever that means. But yeah, no, I love when Brutal Moose does videos watching random VHS tapes. I love those videos, and I love that he records them on, like, a camcorder himself. Like, the audio's still good, but the video quality looks like a home video, like, when he records the actual video, like, with him talking. I think that's so cool. It feels nostalgic, even though I haven't seen a lot of the content on them. Yeah, no, yeah, no, I remember one where he watched, like, what's that show? It's like a something warrior princess, and I've never seen that show in my life, but it was still so nostalgic for some weird reason. I miss my old VCR. I still have one, but there was a VHS tape jammed in it, and I gotta, like, open it up and undo it, and I'm really worried that the VHS is fucked up, and it's a home video of me when I was, like, 2 years old, so I really hope it's not. I have a load of tapes that I need to go through, but I need to find the time to fix one of my VCRs. Yeah, VCRs are tricky. I looked up how to fix my own. I gotta unscrew the whole thing. The shorts were nice. Thank you, Wholesale. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do more. I'm working on one right now. It's almost done, but I wanted to go stream before the night was over before I uploaded it. I've been getting used to Premiere Pro and editing a lot on there myself. Especially since, like, I've been hiring editors on and off for, like, my long form content, but in recent times I've just been having so many issues. I mentioned them in my Disturbing Lost Media from Japan videos recently. I won't get into it here. It was just a lot of hiccups that were very infuriating. So I've been trying to just teach myself to edit and make my videos look cool. Xena, that is, you're right, Jeremiah, it was Xena. And everyone else who said that's Mid-Zero, J. Carl, yeah, it was Xena. I hate dealing with VCR so much, yeah. They're so nostalgic to me, though. I genuinely, like, the quality of the video itself is not great, but, like, I just love VCR so much, because I just remember growing up and watching, like, VHS tapes. I have a bunch of anime VHS, Cardcaptor Sakura, Sailor Moon, Cyborg 007, stuff like that. I had, some of the Deke dub of Sailor Moon on VHS, I remember. And I had Pokemon, those, like, Pokemon VHS tapes with, like, the red, sides, with the titles on them. I had a lot of those. I think the first one I had the one with the Primeape on it, and I had the one with the Pikachus on it, and a few others. But yeah, going back to this, and my little found media journey. So, if you're just joining us, let me just recap. I acquired this Sega AS1 arcade board for the game Michael Jackson Scramble Training. Well, let me read the post. So, Blame It on George and I have recently come into the possession of a piece of lost media and Sega history, the incredibly rare Michael Jackson Scramble Training for the AS1 amusement machines. The FMV master tape was recovered a few years ago, and we can get into that in a bit if you don't know what any of that means, but the actual game data has yet to be preserved. I obtained this through an online auction in Japan, and I want to do my part to make sure this missing piece of the puzzle is properly archived, and also kept safe in the meantime. However, I'm a bit out of my depth when it comes to ROM dumping or AS1 hardware, especially since these things were incredibly niche amusement machines, and very few were even made for that reason. So if anyone knows how to help, or knows someone who can, please let me know. Disregard that last request, because I actually have come into contact with somebody who can help me, since posting this. And, I've been in contact with them, and we're gonna figure something out. But, so don't worry about that last part. As far as the AS1 itself, these things are, pretty big. Like, that's it. They fit, like, 6 people in them. They're, like, the size of a car. And, they move around. So, like I was describing it as, like, Star Tours, that ride at Disneyland. But, like, much smaller, I guess. And you can, like, it's like a game. Like, it's like, I don't know, like Galaga. Like, you shoot at stuff. But it would move around and stuff. And Sega made Michael Jackson's Scramble Training in 1993, I believe. And the board itself says 1992, so I don't know. It was probably built before it was released. But as of 1993, I read that there were only 10 of these in existence at that point in time. They produced them after that, of course. But finding an actual physical one is probably going to be impossible. And I've seen like somebody say there's one in Ukraine. I don't think that's something I can actually get to for obvious reasons right now. And then there's another one somewhere else in the world. But that aside, who knows if any of them are even working. Now, with that said, you don't really need the arcade system itself to like get an emulator going, you know? Like that's not necessary. But just to explain to you guys how niche this thing is. So like if this auction went away and that was that, who knows if another one would pop up again, right? Why is it not playable? Well, let me explain that. Imagine having that big boy, having that bad boy in your game room. That'd be so cool. You'd probably need like somebody who has like, yeah, it's basically a virtual ride. We can look up some videos. Let me make sure the sound's on. They're cool. There's some videos on them moving, and this is the game itself. As you can see, it has FMV. Like there's full motion video here, and the board I just showed you, the board I have acquired. It's just one piece to the puzzle. So like, I've spoken to numerous people in the community. I've reached out to people with Mame, the emulator group. I reached out with people in the Lost Media Wiki Discord who work with like arcade machines. I reached out to a lot of people, but basically before I bought it, I wanted to make sure it wasn't this massive thing I couldn't fit in my home. And it's not big at all. It's actually quite small in comparison to the machine itself. And that it wasn't, that it was actually something that I could, like, get and help preserve the game with. And what I learned is that the AS1 itself used the boards and also used a Laserdisc machine for the FMV video. And there's a really fascinating article on Gaming Alexandria. Let me try and find it. It comes up pretty quickly. And I'll give you guys the TLDR of what all this means too in a second. I've done quite a bit of research before actually acquiring this thing. But you know, like I said, I just want to like recover Japanese media. Like, or lost media in general. I just want to be involved in media preservation rather than just talking about it. And I'm happy to say like I'm doing that with this pretty kinda. So where is it? Gaming Alexandria. No, that's a nice name for a video game library. Yeah. I call my gaming, so my real, like, my full name, like, I go by Alex, like, IRL, of course, like, that's on my YouTube, on my Sakura Stardust page, but my full name's Alexandria, and I like to call my shelf with all my shit, like, all my games in my collection, the Library of Alexandria. That was a joke I used to say. It's a bit corny, but I used to say that. Not quite less media, but I have a few extremely obscure JoJo's facts that aren't translated anywhere. Interesting. I'm a JoJo connoisseur myself. That sounds pretty cool. Oh no, I didn't mean to be angry again. Did she stop being angry? Let me look at OBS. Yeah, okay, we're good. Oh, she's kind of chunking over. Hang on. There we are. Okay. So I'm not going to read the whole, well, I guess I could read the whole article. It's a pretty good read, but I would highly recommend you guys, like, read it on your own time as well. I have reached out to the person who wrote this as well to, like, tell them I acquired this. The board. And, yeah, no, it's a very interesting read. Basically, Michael Jackson had a relationship with Sony. Not Sony, Sega. And, you know, they made the Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. They, he was in Space Channel 5. He made music for Sonic 3, but went uncredited. Like, all of that's, like, super common knowledge. But The AS1 machines, like Sega has a history with arcade stuff. Like there's still like Joyopolis arcades and stuff. Like those are still a thing. But in the early 90s they did these amusement park machines called the AS1. And here's the inside of one. So you could like sit inside it. There's a screen. It moves around and stuff. They had different games like this one called Mugo, I guess. Yeah, it's a virtual ride system. Like, I imagine the game itself is outside of the machine, but it sends data to the screen up here and sends data to move it around and stuff. And, yeah, and here's, like, a screen. Like, it's VMU. Like, VMU. What's a VMU? Why did my brain say VMU? That's a Dreamcast thing. It's FMV, like it's full motion video, but on top of that, there's like sprites and stuff and like, a game, like you could play a game. And let's see if it shows. Yeah, there's people next to it. There's like Michael Jackson next to it, and the guy, Hisashi Suzuki, next to the AS1. Here's another game, Megaopolis. Here's another AS1. But yeah, these were amusement machines, and they had them outside of Japan. They moved them to like Disney parks in Europe, and I believe Disney World had them. It was like a thing. There wasn't a whole lot of them, of course, because they're amusement machines, but they existed. Yeah, Joyopolis. They still have Joyopolis, and they still have rides like this, but they're a lot more advanced nowadays. But going back to the video portions, the video portion was actually found a couple of years ago because somebody randomly at like a car boot sale, which to my understanding in Europe, that's when you buy stuff out of the trunks of people's cars, kind of like a yard sale or a flea market. Somebody just randomly found this D2 tape, which is like a really big VHS tape with all of the footage from this game. And just all of it was just there. And they worked with somebody. I forgot who exactly. It's in here. It's in the article. And again, I highly recommend reading the article. I'll read this portion at the very least. But I'll start here. But today, the lack of material has been at least partially solved, all because of a relative of a former Sega employee offloading assorted memorabilia from their time at the company in the 1990s, a purchase made by someone who did not even know what they had, and help from a few people who were in the right place at the right time. So this is just for the video footage, it's not the game itself. The summertime in Britain brings about numerous pastimes. One of them is the car boot sale, a local flavor of the more globally popular flea market. Professional amateur traders sell various second-hand goods in a lot where anyone can attend. With unwanted personal possessions in tow, they can sell them out of their car boot or trunk in a field. So, alright. Through the proliferation of online sales and bidding have nullified much of the hope of finding rarities for shockingly cheap prices. The occasional surprise from someone with little knowledge or awareness of what they possess can still occur. Back in June of 2022, a relative of a former employee from Sega Amusements Europe, the overseas arcade arm of Sega that's still going independently and selling new games today, was in attendance at one such car boot sale. He was offloading numerous pieces of ephemera from his departed relative's employment. He priced an anonymous-looking 2D digital tape simply marked Sega AS1 Michael Jackson version at a few £100. Its true preservation value is, of course, much greater. So a few £100, I'm assuming how that converts, that's probably like $600, right? At least. Selling stuff out of a car in the USA is sometimes seen as shady. Yeah, no. Sadly, car boot sale is over for the year around here, sometimes seen as shady. Oh, really? So, like, you gotta... Wait, I just read 2 comments at once. Holy crap. Sadly, car boot sale is over for the year around here. Only one more sale before Christmas. Interesting. I didn't know it was, like, a seasonal thing, but that makes sense. Because, like, farmers markets over here in America, you don't usually see them in the winter, but you do see them quite a bit on the weekends in summer. Sakura broke out the YouTuber voice. It's serious. No, for real. Like, I just do that by default. Like, if any of you work customer service or work in, like, the public, work with the public, and have, like, a customer service voice, it's kind of like that. That's how I describe it, like, when I, like, break out the narration voice. But it's also a lot of just me practicing narration for years and years and years. Like, I've perfected that voice for many years now. Yeah, but we still should have that in LA. I don't know why that even isn't even a thing. Are you talking about farmers markets, Jeremiah? There are quite a few, like in Southern California, just because the weather's so nice still. It's so hot here right now. But yeah, no, I feel like it will probably have farmers markets for quite a while. But up north more, like where I'm from, like they're probably done for. They're probably like not doable anymore because it's quite cold up there. Anyways, where was I? Oh, we were here. I don't remember those ats. The eventual buyer of the tape had about as much of a clue of what it truly was as well, beyond knowing that it said Sega and came from a former employee. They knew very little about it. They knew little about it, tasking a friend of theirs with looking for answers on a Facebook Sega fan group. There's so much shit going down on these like fan groups, I swear. Like I always hear stuff like that from like Facebook groups, and it's like I don't even use Facebook, but dang. That's really where all the action's going on. One lucky commenter, Mecha, okay, I thought that said something else. Mecha Fat Nick recognized the tape's importance and offered to actually help extract its rare contents for others to see, saving it from a private collector's hands. Among these privy to the initial talks included the author of this piece and Matt Gardner of Forbes, who has also written an article on the finding. Several months later, a digital file transfer by the wonderful people at Oxford Duplication Center produced a direct recording of Michael Jackson in Scramble training, which is now available to the public in its entirety. Unprecedentedly, all the known segments filmed, rendered, and edited for the title were found to exist on the tape, in both English and Japanese. One version is unsubtitled, and featuring dubbed voice actors. The other subtitled and with original voices. So did they dub over Michael Jackson in English? Or wait, did I read that right? I'm assuming they dubbed over him in Japanese. Okay, unfortunately, this cannot be called a full dump of Scramble training itself. Okay, this is important, guys. This is the meat of the potatoes here. We're getting to the entree here. This is the body of it. This is the important part. All right. Unfortunately, this cannot be called a full dump of Scramble training itself. Used in an interactive ride simulator, the ROM sets for the sprite-driven gameplay elements plus motion data naturally remain unpreserved. Jackson additionally filmed an introductory piece for the AS1 played on a monitor outside simulator installations, which also appears to remain missing. Nonetheless, perhaps the most valuable part of the experience has now been saved. The exact origin and use of this tape seems to remain something of a mystery too. Clues do, however, exist. By the 1990s, D2 tapes were frequently being used instead of the older Type C format for mastering of material intended to be copied onto laserdiscs. This, and the lack of sprite overlays for the interactive portions, would seem to confirm the contents of the tape are copies of the completed original masters. Not only this, but the... Damn! Okay, I'm sorry you had to hear that. But the tape label states the date of 31/5/1996, so March 31st, 1996. Translation of the Japanese kanji suggests that this tape was intended for use in France, and there is a distinct possibility that this tape was sent for internal use there during pre-opening promotional activities for Sega World London. These occurred around the same time, ahead of the park's opening at the start of September that same year, and it's notable that a region-specific corporate video was made for this purpose. Regardless, a region-specific corporate video was made for this purpose. Interesting. Regardless of the tape's own backstory, it's nothing short of great luck that this chain of events allowed such an enigmatic, poorly documented title like Michael Jackson and Scramble Training to be better preserved and viewed than ever before. The hunt continues for the ROMs and the AS1 simulators themselves, though there have been sightings in Ukraine, Australia, and Indonesia during the past decade. So for the actual machine itself is what they're saying. The game, a representative piece of one of Sega's great multi-million gaming follies, can now be seen again. And yeah, the footage is up on YouTube if you want to watch the whole thing. Have you considered setting up a page on Discord if Facebook isn't your thing? It's a workable alternative. I do have a Discord, but it's more so for patrons because I just don't have the energy to like moderate all that, and I fear that it could get I just fear people taking advantage of it and doing things that I do not condone in such a big server, so that's why I don't have like an official Discord server. But for patrons, I do have a Discord server where they can discuss mysteries and suggest things. That's for the Sakura Stardust patron also. I don't have one for the Vtuber, it's just for both, technically. Thank you, Jeremiah. I do need to pop in to my Discord server a lot more. I've just been so busy, but I like every time I see the icon on Discord, I'm like, I get this anxiety, like, oh god, I need to say hi to everyone. I feel so bad. But thank you. But yeah, so basically, like this said, to go back to this, unfortunately, this cannot be called a full dump of Scramble training itself. Used in an interactive ride simulator, the ROM sets for the sprite-driven gameplay and elements plush Why can't I read today? Jeez Louise. Okay, so used in an interactive ride simulator, the ROM sets for the specific not even there. The ROM sets for the sprite-driven gameplay elements plus motion data naturally remain unpreserved. Jackson additionally filmed an introductory piece for the AS1 on a monitor outside the simulator installations, which also appears to remain missing. So yeah. The ROM sets remain unpreserved. And the thing I acquired is one of the ROMs. One of the boards that is a piece of the ROM, basically. It's not the full thing, unfortunately. I'm sure it's like multiple ROMs that have to collaborate together. But it does have data on it that is important, that it should be dumped to archive the full game. So that's what it is. Ah, yes, VTuber dyslexia, oh my god. Yeah, so I have one of the other pieces, Chameleon. I don't believe I have all the other pieces. I believe there's probably a piece for the motion data. There's going to be a piece with more like ROMs on it. But I do have what I believe, because I have been speaking to various people, stuff with the data to like start up the AS1 and like data for like the specific game. I just don't know how much of it until I work with someone to get it dumped. But like I said, I have been in contact with somebody who has experience in dumping niche rare arcade boards like this, and I'm gonna figure something out, and I'm gonna work on getting it dumped, and I will update you guys as things progress. So yeah, it is very complex. Yeah, there's various boards. I don't think this is the only board, especially for something that big. You know, there's a lot going on there, and I think that like opening video they mentioned, that's nowhere to be seen. But to get this whole thing working, you would need. We have the master tapes, and see what this was. It's the master tapes that they would put onto a Laserdisc. And from what I've heard from people I've spoken to, the Laserdisc players on these AS1 systems were just basic Laserdisc players. There's nothing special about them. It was just a Laserdisc player that like gave you the footage. So it was a Laserdisc player and then ROMs to use the game and have the thing move itself. It's very complex, but a lot of cool stuff. The Luler, how you doing, friend? But yeah, it's very complex, but I'm very happy to do my part at least. I mean, if I can at least, like, keep this thing with me and keep it safe until it can get, like, dumped in some caliber, like, I'm happy to do that. But, give me one moment. I'm just checking my chat, making sure I didn't miss anyone. If anyone subscribed. You do? We have a big stack of questions for you. Oh no, I'm sorry, Jeremiah. I'll pop on there when I have a chance, I promise. On the Discord server. Oh, I'm sorry. Petty. Robato. Random question, but do you live in Japan or have ever lived in Japan? Or just a fan of the culture? I'm based in Japan right now myself. By the way, you read my name right. Jozu desu yo. Yeah, Jozu desu yo. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu yo. Well, okay, so here's my lore. I've given this many times, but I'll give the rundown. I'll do a very brief rundown for you all. I studied Japanese in college. It was my college minor. But I also have been studying the language itself since middle school. I have been to Japan, but I have never lived there. I almost did live there. I was almost a jet, but I just ended up not doing that. But yes, I have been to Japan, and I did study the language. But as far as like living there, I am currently in California. That is where I am. And as far as like intentions to go back to Japan, like I will probably like visit there to like record things for like documentaries on Sakura Stardust. That's a plan and something I've been wanting to do for a while now. No like set plans yet. But I do want to like return to Japan. I've always wanted to go to Osaka. I've only ever been to like the Kanto region. But yeah, that's about the gist of it. I've been studying since middle school. But I appreciate you thinking I am Jozu desu. Thank you very much. Cool, I'm visiting Japan next week. That's awesome. That's awesome. What part of Japan, if you don't mind me asking? I was in Japan earlier this year for the Expo and One Piece Day. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, best of luck, J. Carl. Documentary sounds cool. Yeah, I want to, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a lot of stuff I want to film. There's a lot of things I've been wanting to make, and I've been teasing for, I want to say years now. But I felt like with these topics, they wouldn't be done with justice or done with like quality unless I filmed on site in Japan. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Jeremiah gifted a tier 1 sub to Smith Zero. They've given 2 gift subs to the channel. Oh, thank you, Jeremiah. You are so nice. Thank you so much. I always wanted to go. Yeah, no, Japan's cool. Japan's cool. I'm a little wary. I said this last stream or the stream before, but I'm a little wary of like what's the word? All the tourists and like how kind of awful they've made certain areas. I know tourism's just a thing, but I don't remember it being that bad until just like recent years after the yen became weak and Japan opened back up. It's screws Johnny Samoa, for real. Like I saw an update video, like he went to trial or something. He's in like Korea now, but like for real, fuck that dude. Genuinely, him and Ice Poseidon are genuinely pieces of shit. Like, Japan sounds like an expensive place to visit. Too much stuff I want to buy. No, I came home. Last time I went in 2020, I came home with a whole suitcase full of things I bought. And like one. Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. That's awesome, J. Carl. J. Carell. I don't know how to, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but that's awesome. I have not been to Osaka or Kyoto. I have friends who have been and say it's like really awesome. It's super casual and the people are so nice there and I want to go so bad. So bad. Tokyo's cool though. I've been to Tokyo. I've been to like the surrounding areas like Mitaka, Shimokitazaya. Yeah, no, I had very good. I hope you have a great time. I've heard the geisha districts in some cities have closed off to tourists because of the Western misconception that geishas are sex workers. Yeah, I've heard that too. And that's part of like where I'm like, God, that sounds fucking awful. Those poor geisha. And like genuinely that is such a common misconception. I had to correct my like family members that just were told for years, like people older, like in their like 50s and 60s, that geishas were prostitutes. And I had to tell them no. And like one of them even like, this was years ago, one of them even argued with me and saying, no, you're incorrect. It's like, bro, I'm not incorrect. I think tourists were hassling them in general. Yeah, no. Yeah, I really wish I could have went to Kyoto before this happened. It just seems like it's not getting any better. I would feel very self-conscious about traveling as an American, worried I'll be instantly looked at as bad because there's so many bad Americans. No, I understand that feeling so well. Like, I watched so many videos on proper Japanese etiquette, and I was, like, on my best behavior. Like, anytime I'm in Japan, my voice is low. I am as polite as I can be. I don't eat or do anything annoying on the train. I know the train's, like, the train is, like, there's a lot of videos where people are like, don't do this in Japan. This is the thing you shouldn't do. The biggest, like, recommendation I would give is to not eat or be loud on the train. The train is a space where people are just sharing it just to get home or get to work, and just treat it like a library, basically. That's the biggest advice I could give. And like, yeah, I was dead silent, like, on the train. Like, using your phone's cool, like texting, but like talking on it or being loud, and like there's so many tourists that do that shit now. I saw a video of some person letting their like toddler run around and scream on the train. It was just so rude. It was so rude. And I feel so bad. I feel so bad because it's not hard to like research these topics before you actually go there. It's like, bro, you could have just spent just one day learning the etiquette. Because like one of the first things you're going to see when you look at proper etiquette in Japan is to just not be a dick on the trains. I digress. I'm going on a rant right now, but I understand how you feel. I understand so well. It's pronounced J. Carl. Okay, cool. Thank you. The dream is to visit Japan someday. No, and someone had said it's expensive, genuinely. Like, flying there's a bit expensive. The hotel is probably the most expensive thing. If you can go there with a friend, just split the hotel price. That would probably be great and cut out a lot of it. But riding around on the train, like, just paying your way for travel, eating at, like, restaurants, if you don't go to the super touristy spots, it's genuinely super, super not expensive. It's very inexpensive. Like, eating and traveling in Japan is so much cheaper compared to, like, America. Like, genuinely. Like, eating out, I could, have, like, a full meal, like, at a restaurant. This was 2020. I'm sure it's better now because the yen's weaker. Like, for, like, people with dollars and stuff. And just non-Japanese currency. But I could, like, eat a pretty large meal. I went to like this tuna soba place, and it was only like 1,000 yen for me to eat and have like a drink and like a little cake for dessert. Like, it was only 1,000 yen, which is like $10. It was $10 then. So no, it's eating, traveling is pretty inexpensive. The hotel is going to be a bit expensive though, and traveling there, like the actual airfare is pretty pricey. I've been on the LA Metro train line, and trust me, it's not pretty. Yeah. I've never been on myself, but I've seen it. I'm going with 4 friends, so it shouldn't be that bad. That should be great. I was pretty much solo traveling. Like, my mom was with me the last time, but she got sick halfway through, so I was pretty much solo traveling. But if you have friends to go with, that's going to be awesome. I'd want to go to Japan with friends. No, I agree. Like, as long as your friends behave, of course. Because there's so many, like, groups of tourists that are, like, super loud and destructive. But, like, if you go with friends who all know the assignment or are, like, super respectful to the culture, it should be such a great time. I have been to Japan. I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. Taking a canoe to Japan to save money on the flight. Oh my gosh, yeah. And hi, Pigman, how are you? Oh, wow, I achieved the goals. I just looked. Soccer Star VTuber's goals. Goals achieved, 700 out of 690 followers, 10 out of 10 new subs, what the heck? And goal achieved, 1190 out of 1,000. Wow, you guys helped me reach my goals, thank you. That's awesome. I fucking blame Logan Paul for being the gateway asshole that started this annoying gaijin in Japan thing, yeah. I also just think that because anime and stuff is so normalized now, not normalized, that's not really the right word, anime is very mainstream now. Like, I want to say, like, when I first wanted to go to Japan in, like, 2006, when I first started getting into, like, anime as a kid, it wasn't super popular to, like, visit Japan. There were tourists, of course, but it wasn't as bad as, like, now. And, like, I mean, that was 20 years ago, almost, of course. But, I feel like anime is still very niche. Like, anime kids were very much bullied back then, up until, I want to say, like, 2020, almost. But, like, these, like, I want to say from, yeah, maybe even after 2015, like, anime just started becoming very, very commonplace and very mainstream. And I think that has a lot to do with it, anime gaming, the influence of social media, like TikTok, like, oh, Japan's living in the year 2060, like that, shit like that. Like, it just promotes the tourism more so, I think. And it makes, like, everyone want to go visit Japan. And, it, you know, Japan's a great country, but you gotta, like, respect the culture. You can't just treat it like fucking, like, an amusement park, you know? I remember being mocked to hell and back in middle school for liking Death Note. No, for real, Jeremiah, no. This is such deep lore. But I was bullied so fucking much for wearing anime shirts and shit and just being nerdy in high school that I it sounds like a movie plot, but like I I just one day decided to like repress it and hide it at home and just dress like a scene kid and just like how all the popular girls were dressing. So one day I just bleached my hair and I like parted it heavily to the side like that scene haircut and started teasing my hair with the side bangs and all that. Wearing like the Hot Topic jeans. Well, I don't think they were from Hot Topic, but I wore skinny jeans and just dressed like that. Got my like Abercrombie and Fitch hoodies and my in Aeropostale and shit like that, or Aeropostale, whatever that store was called, and just like that. And you know what? Within a week, people stopped bullying me and just treated me like a person. And that is so fucking disgusting that all it took was just to not act like I liked anime. And I still liked anime, and I still like video games, and I still had it like in my house. And I remember like a friend came over like after I started doing that and saw that I had like a bunch of game consoles and shit. She's like, "Ew," and like anime posters. And I was like, "Ew, what is that?" Like it was a fucking like I had some kind of illness. Like I had like the plague, and looking genuinely like grossed out by it. So like genuinely, it was so gross how superficial some kids were. Like I know you're like a teenager and you're like a slave to trends and like what's cool you just want to follow because peer pressure, but it was genuinely like, looking back, it's just so sad. Because nowadays you can wear anime shirts just fine. Like a lot of like it's cool to like anime now, and I think that's so great for the people who like are growing up nowadays. But oh my gosh, it was not like that when I was growing up. I didn't watch anime until after high school because of peer pressure. Was told by everyone it was bad and mid. 2010 internet told me it was loser behavior. Yeah, I understand that feeling, but really, I just like what you like, and as long as you're happy, it doesn't matter. And I would just I just was tired of being bullied. Like one girl almost tried to push me down the stairs once because I had a fucking Oran High School Host Club shirt on. And I was just so tired and scared of these girls that I just started like dressing like them, and it fucking worked because that's how shallow they were. It was crazy. It was insane. But yeah. Yeah, no, those girls were so mean. Those girls were so mean, and I, this sounds so mean also in itself, but I looked them up later on, and one of them is just, the one that was the meanest to me, like physically bullying me, is just not in a good place in life now, and it was like asking for sympathy on like social media and stuff, and I'm like, girl, you gave no one sympathy, and now it's a lot to get into, but that being said, yeah, no, like, the bullies, like, even one of them, I remember, one of them that was in one of my classes that, like, bullied me for liking anime. I saw a photo, like, a PFP of her on Instagram, and she had a, Jujutsu Kaisen shirt on in the PFP. So, it's so ironic. These, like, mean, judgmental girls, they're just, like, they just did a complete 360. It's cool to like some anime. You're gonna get side-eyed if you walk around with a Monogatari shirt. Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, no, if you walk around with a High School DxD shirt, or Prison School or some shit, or I'm trying to think of ones with girls with big bazungas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're gonna get side-eyed. Sorry, I inhaled my tea. But yeah, there's certain things you shouldn't wear in public, especially if there's kids present. Like the ahegao shirts that were kind of a trend like 5 years ago. Don't do that. At least don't do that in a setting with children, or like a public setting. Thank you, Mia. I just inhaled my tea. I'm good. Nothing is cringier than seeing those cars with a million Doujin stickers on it. Do not do that. Yeah, like, I don't mind, like, I don't mind having anime stickers on your car, but don't have anything obscene when you're driving by families and stuff. Like, just, Yeah, that's really it. Like what Smith Zero said, dress appropriately for where you're going and what you're going to be around. Like, just like with the Japan conversation, like, just be respectful to those around you. Like, if you're not hurting anyone, like whatever you want to like. But if it's like something that can like is just super inappropriate for public, like you should maybe, not do that. Like, if you want to have, like, Cloud Strife on your car, absolutely go for it. But if you want to have, like, you know, anime titties flopping around, like, that probably isn't the best idea. Especially if you're, like, driving to your job, you know, or somewhere that, like, you're supposed to be professional. Bro, speaking of, in high school, I had this guy in my class wear the entire Aigao suit to school. Oh my god. He even got in trouble with the principal for it. Yeah, I could imagine. I don't see any situation where that would have ended well. Like, that design, like, even if you don't know what anime is, like, you can still tell what's going on there, you know? Like, just don't. The most recent anime I've seen is Kagami no Ki, and it's set in ancient Egypt, and it's so cute. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that one. I am watching, I said this on stream, but I'm starting to rewatch Monster. A couple streams ago I said this. There's another anime that I was trying to get into. What was it? Gosh, I don't remember. It was something I saw briefly on one of the streaming services I was browsing through the other day. I cannot remember for the life of me what it is, but I'll if I remember, I'll bring it up. An anonymous gifter gave Monster on the Moon a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, friend. Thank you so much. But yeah, Lost Media, guys, if you're just joining us, I have recently acquired a board to one of these bad boys, for like a game that's Lost Media. And it's not the full game, like I said, but I'm gonna send it to someone, and they're gonna figure out what's on it and what needs to be preserved in order to eventually get the game running. And then there's also the issue of the actual laserdisc, if we need a laserdisc, or if that data from the master tape could be put on a laserdisc, and that would work just like hunky-dory, and that's all we need. I don't know. It is genuinely so niche that I don't know. But here, let's wrap this section up before we move on. Let me know if you can hear the sound.
が大流行して以来、ビデオゲームという新しい遊びは若者の生活の中にすっかりと溶け込んでいました。風俗営業及び深夜飲食店営業に対し、営業の禁止区域の設定。It's
often a bit loud, so I turned it down. At least last stream was pretty loud when I listened back. Also, I'm checking out the Rama 1/2 remake with my mom. That's awesome. I've been watching it a little bit too. I'm really glad they kept it in the 80s, because with the Urusei Yatsura reboot, they didn't do that, and I wasn't really a fan of that. I gotta put my headphones in also. I can't hear jack shit right now. Hang on. Sound is good, thank you. Oh no, we can't hear? Oh dear, give me a minute. Oh jeez. What the heck? I just connected my headphones. I'm assuming it's something to do with that. Give me 1 minute. What the helly? Give me. Let's try looking it on YouTube. Oh, that's not cool. Yeah, it's completely off. That is so odd. I can hear it, but it sounds very low. Weird. Let me see. Watching City Hunter and getting to the part. Oh, hang on. My model's off too. Give me a minute. Alright, yeah, that was weird. I don't know what happened there. Can hear now? Okay. I have no idea what happened. I think it had to do with the AirPods, because everything kind of went wacky when I connected them. Watching City Hunter and getting to the part where, the Cowdy. Yeah, no, I don't understand the Cowdy slander in City Hunter at all, like, because she has a flat chest or whatever, like, Or whatever, you know, I know what you're saying. Like, the humor in City Hunter's a little weird when they try to shit on County.
お客様が安心して登り降りていただく。まあ商売って言いますか、商売の原点は私はどういう業種だろうが同じ
You guys said you can hear it?
でそういう感覚で
It's quite low, you're right.
やりまして、本当の意味の店作りとか店と
It's so weird because I can't hear it at all.
商人としてお店をこうやっていく場合にどうなんだろうなっていうのが一番最初にやはり疑問を持って入ってから感じたことですね。でこれを本当の商売として成り立たすにはどういう店作りがいいのかということを当時いろいろな意味でお金
This, I have no, this isn't what I wanted to watch anyway, though. Yeah, I think the audio is just like super low on this specific clip. They're just talking out their like visions for like the amusement machines also, but this is not what I had in mind. I thought it was something else. Give me a minute. Alright. So what I wanted to show you guys is this is the master tape we were taking a look at, by the way. Yeah, this is what it looks like in the machine itself. So this is the game itself, the lost game.
3, 2, 1, ignite. What? All engines, emergency shutdown. Engage air brakes. We're not going to make it.
Make sure the volume's not super high now. Let me test. Okay.
Unfortunately, you do not qualify for the Space Pirates license. Come back again soon for another challenge. Goodbye.
So yeah, that's like a brief clip of the game, like when it was working on a machine. And you can see like there's stuff on screen for you to like operate with the game, like shoot things and stuff. So yeah, like this isn't the whole arcade sequence. But yeah. Yeah, for an arcade back in the day, it looks very impressive. No, like for 1992 or 1993, very impressive. Also, these recommended videos, what the heck? But yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna try and like get what I can off the board and try and preserve this game because this is lost media. It can't be played. And I mean, it'd be awesome if an AS1 like unit surfaced that was in working order still. But like I showed you guys previously, these things are kind of big. Like that's a lot going on there. A lot of components too. Like I'm assuming like this has some game data on it as well. And I think there's a photo of one. Yeah, there's a photo of one with like a control panel thing. See right here. And I imagine like this part is where like the actual like innards of the game itself is, because if you had like the board itself in the machine, it'd probably be jolting around everywhere and like cause more problems. So I'm assuming like this is the portion that controlled the game, so you would need the whole package here to run it. So like unless you have like a time machine to go to like early 90s Japan, like it'd be very difficult to like put the whole thing together. I want to ride it. No, for real, me too. It looks fun. I'm not one of those born in the wrong generation people, but man, do I wish I was around during the arcade boom. Arcades are so cool. No, for real. That would be so cool. Like, even there, like, I wasn't even born during that period. Arcades are still really fun in Japan, but even that is kind of dying. Like, the two of the Sega arcades I went to in Japan, they're no longer a thing, and it's so sad because they were so cool to visit. I wonder how much I'd have to how much it'd cost to make one. Oh gosh, probably like $1 million, I assume. They were not cheap. But yeah, these were in like arcades and stuff, like all over Japan, and they went out throughout the rest of the world. Like there were some in Europe, there was some in like Disney World, I believe. And yeah, it's possible for there to be one out there, but then there's also the issue of repairing it and getting it in working order. So like the most likely outcome is to like just put the ROM up. Like there are AS1 like emulators that are being worked on by the people at MAME or MAME. And yeah, like that's possible, but like getting the whole like motion data and stuff and getting it to work as it did back in the early 90s, that would be crazy. I'd love to see it, but it'd be very difficult. Have you run into any textual lost media yet, like books, etc.? You know, I found some old, like, these are probably not cataloged online in any way, but I found some, like, old Shonen Jumps and, Japanese magazines from the 90s and stuff when I was in Japan. I'm sure those are lost in some sense. But as far as, like, actual books I know are lost, nothing I know offhand. I was so bummed when I heard about the Sega arcade closures. No, me too. There's a ton in Akihabara. Like, the two that closed aren't the only ones. But the ones that did close are, like, the big ones. Like, the super memorable ones that everyone has seen. That, you know, people who are, like, enthusiastic about this kind of stuff. I guess the stuff they've seen before. Like, here, to give an example. I do not know how to spell. Alright. Yeah, so. This one closed, and then this one with the escalators. Which, I actually have a photo I took of this place myself. This arcade. Back in 2020. And it's just so sad to see it closed. I get it better. Yeah, so this corner right here is the arcade. And it's really cool. There's a bunch of rhythm games on the top. They had this, like, motion Gundam game. Like, you were piloting a Gundam and it moved around and stuff. It was super cool. And yeah, a lot of Taiko no Tatsujin. I heard Japan in the 60s and 70s was ballin', so a Yakuza game set in that time would be cool. There's one coming out that's set in, like, the 20s, I think. They showed it at the Game Awards last year, I believe, or Summer Games Fest or something like that. PlayStation State of Play. Something showed it, but it looks really fun. It's my plan to buy an abandoned Sega arcade and rebrand it as Club Sakura. It is the plan to buy an abandoned Sega arcade and rebrand it as Club Sakura. That'd be cool. If I had the money, if I had that much disposable income to just buy a Sega arcade, I would absolutely do that. And it'd be all, like, vintage arcade shit, like, from the 80s and 90s. There are some really cool places in Tokyo to, like, go to that look genuinely like they're still in the 80s, though. Like, Nakano Broadway. This place is very Showa looking. Certain parts of Asakusa also. But it's a very touristy now. There's also, There's also, what the heck was that place? There's another place, like, around this area that has, like, a cafe that looks like it hasn't been, like, remodeled since, like, 1988, and it's so cool looking. It's like a hisaten, which are also rare in themselves these days. That's like a traditional Japanese, like, coffee shop, like a cafe. I've heard that Sega has lost the source codes for a lot of its pre-1990 arcade games. That's insane. That is horrible. That makes me sad. But I believe it. Another good example is Slamfest. For, like, game companies that have lost things they shouldn't have lost. It's pretty much believed. Like, this is a really good video on it. El Supersonic Q has done a few videos. It's a Nintendo Super Smash Brothers, like, a puppet show. And the puppet show, it was a wrestling match, and they were in costumes. And it was to promote the very first Super Smash Brothers game. And they they hosted this, like, wrestling match with Yoshi, Mario, I believe Donkey Kong, and Pikachu. And, just to promote Smash Bros. It's a very small event in, like, Vegas. And they live streamed it in 1999. They live streamed it. And that live stream is now super, super lost media. And that's something you would think Nintendo would have archived, but it is believed. It's pretty much believed that Nintendo does not have any record or any they don't have anything of it in their archive. Like, they never saved it. So, super, super lost. Hopefully it comes up someday. But it's a really interesting piece of digital lost media where, like, it did live stream in 1999 when live streaming really wasn't a thing. And now it's just lost. And there's sites documenting it, like fan sites and stuff. But, it's, finding it is just a matter of, like, finding it archived somewhere. Did Slamfest ever get found? No. No, like, they found photos of the event and stuff like that, but the original live stream is not found. I'm sure, like, it's also possible for a live stream to be found, not a live stream, for, like, camcorder footage, like, from the audience. I'm sure that's possible to be found, but that original live stream that was distributed through Nintendo officially is just lost now. It's still lost. Yeah, no, I was never found, unfortunately. Yeah, I want Slamfest to be found so bad. Me too. That's one of my holy grails. I'm a big Nintendo fan. Hey Sakura, have you heard of Street Fighter Online Mouse Generation? It's a browser game that's lost media now. I think I've heard of that. I've never looked into it, but I think I've heard of it. We can read, if there's an LMW article, I'm happy to read it. What I read was a fake post. Oh, saying he was found. Yeah, there's a lot of people that just want to bait and, like, generate excitement over nothing and just say things are found or say they're hoarding them. I would pay no mind to that, honestly. Speaking of lost live streams, a live stream that introduced Herobrine to Minecraft was found last year. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It was found the day after Blame It On George made that video, and I think that's so funny. To see if they had a tape. Oh, did people reach out to any of the magazines that had those high-quality screenshots to see if they had a tape? I believe so, and I believe they did provide additional photos, the people who responded, but they didn't have any, like, tapes or any, like, anything else to, like, provide. But yeah, no, Slamfest is cool. Let me see, what was that Street Fighter? Street Fighter Online Mouse Generation. What? That is a silly name. I do want to make a video on just, like, 100% digital lost media, like, things that have only existed online and never, like, will ever be, like, recovered physically. Like, you gotta find them online. Another thing that is crazy that it's lost media is, PT, the Silent Hill demo, I didn't know that was lost, because that was a big, big deal back in the day. Minecraft also has a ton of lost media. I can see that. I think I remember someone telling me that a lot of the early builds are lost. Like, the earliest builds of the game. I don't see an LMW article, but this video looks kind of interesting let's see if it's any good. Why is Obama there? If it's good, then yeah, shout out to this dude. Let's check it out.
No matter how big of a Street Fighter fan you are, it's extremely easy to play your favorite game in the series. Head to either Fightcade or Steam, click a few buttons, and you're ready to start throwing out fireballs. Simple.
Obama was
well,
free
I know
DLC,
you like
what
a
the
good mystery,
heck?
dear viewer, so we're going to be exploring a Street Fighter
Oh, that
title
is
that has
a
become
sign of
lost
the era
to
it came
time.
out in.
One that has been impossible to play for eons, even if you know exactly where to look, and believe me, I've done a lot of looking. First released in 2008, Street Fighter Online Mouse Generation was a PC free-to-play game that made exclusive use of the mouse. Yep, it didn't utilize the keyboard or even any controllers, just the mouse. This is already intriguing enough, but
still
you can only
PT on my
imagine how
PS4,
dumbfounded
bro.
I was when I saw
You
that
could help
former
preserve it.
President Barack Obama was playable. No, this isn't a bit. I haven't
Hang on though. Someone asked if PT is good as they say. It's terrifying. That is like, I'm not a big horror game person, but PT genuinely terrified me back in the day. It's genuinely like it's worth checking out. Shame they fired Kojima, yeah, but like Kojima's gone on to do a lot of cool things. If you don't mind me asking, are there any websites for Japanese DVDs and Blu-rays? I'm trying to find Japanese dub of Suspiria, a Japanese dub of an Italian horror movie, and other obscure horror movies. Try Mandarake. Okay, let's go on a little side quest real quick, guys. Just to answer your question, who asked that, Cheese. I see like weird DVDs pop up on Mandarake every now and then. They have an online site. You're gonna need to use a proxy for this though. They sell DVDs. It's like a big anime store. It's in different locations throughout Japan. But you can shop online, and I believe they have a DVD section. And yeah, I would try Mandarake for something that obscure. But Yahoo Japan auctions also. Just keep an eye out there. That's probably more likely than this, actually, if you just keep looking every now and then. And, yeah, just keep looking. You're going to need to use Bai or a proxy site like that to get it to wherever you are if you are not in Japan. But that's my recommendation.
made this photo in Photoshop. A lost media Street
Even the
Fighter
site looks
game with
interesting in
playable
Vinches, it
Obama
does.
sounds too stupid to be true, so I had to investigate and try to get to the bottom of the madness. Our goal is to uncover the history behind Street Fighter Online, figure out how it played, and see if it left any sort of impact or legacy behind.
Buying anime Blu-rays and DVDs is so expensive these days. I hate loving to collect physical media. No, for real. And physical media is still very much alive in Japan. Like, there's still Tower Records. There's still DVD stores. DVD collecting is, like, very much a thing there. But they are expensive. Like, I remember, like, looking at them in Japan, and I was thinking of buying, like, I forgot what I wanted, like, a set of something. But then I think it was JoJo, and I saw the price one, and I was like, oh, never mind. Never mind, I'm good. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Pigpen. Any Charlie Brown lost media? Oh, there's gotta be. There's gotta be, Majed. I don't know offhand, but one thing that surprised, this is such, I'm derailing the topic. I'm derailing the question right now to something completely different that I just want to talk about, but there's a lot of Hamtaro lost media that I discovered today, and I really want to talk about it, so I'm going to just talk about it in videos, because I really like Hamtaro. But yeah, no, the moral of the story is there's probably Charlie Brown lost media. There's usually some form of lost media related to, like, you know, big properties like that. Wait, Tower Records still exists over there? Yeah, like, I mean, last time I was there was one in Shibuya, I believe? Shibuya or Harajuku, like, somewhere around that area. I remember seeing one, yeah.
And
it's a pretty big one.
Since I can't actually play the game for myself, I can't provide my objective opinion regarding game feel, so I'll be taking a more investigative, subjective approach to this journey. Buckle up and make sure to grab your favorite pointing device as we attempt to crack the enigma that is Street Fighter Online. Keeping
This
with
is
series
crazy, what the
tradition, Street
heck?
Fighter
I never
Online
knew
was
this was a
developed in
thing.
the glorious land of Nippon, but unlike the mainline entries, development was mostly outsourced. It's true that Capcom
Did we just get an upskirt shot of the fucking E-Honda there?
was involved with the project's creation, but a bulk of it was handled by Doletto. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that, like me, you've never heard of the studio before, and after researching their operations, I think I know why. If you try and Google Doletto, you're presented with photos of a man who has definitely seen better days, but if you add
Oh,
Capcom
man.
to the search,
Poor
the answers
dude.
we're looking for become clear. Sort of, at least. If you try to find exactly what Deletto does, there's a bunch of conflicting information from secondary sources that can easily get you lost in a rabbit hole, but there's one outlet that I found that I believe to be the most reputable.
Give me a minute.
I
I gotta
stumbled
make
across
sure.
the corporate information section of Capcom's website,
Paper
and if
Mario's
we scroll
not
to the
playing
October
still.
2006
Mario
section,
Paint.
we find our first official mention
not
of
okay.
Deletto. It's explained here that Deletto was the result of Capcom and Dwango, a Japanese telecommunications company, with its intention being to manage a portal website, but I was unable to discover what exactly this portal would lead to. Capcom's 2009 annual report document verifies this claim, with page 56 stating that Capcom owned a majority of Deletto, implying that Dwango was playing second fiddle with its partial ownership. So, with Capcom taking the reins of a new studio, they decided to put Deletto to the test and commission development of a brand new browser game. Here's where we run into a few roadblocks though, as some of the more specific questions I thought of didn't have verifiable answers online, so I've had to make some educated guesses going forward. The reasons behind why this game had to be part of the Street Fighter IP are unknown, but I assume it was because the series was making its grand return with Street Fighter 4, so this would have been a prime opportunity to capitalize on that game's hype. From looking at the Street Fighter Online footage, I wouldn't blame you if you thought that the character models kind of resembled action figures, but that's actually entirely intentional. I'll cover the gameplay implications of this later on, but what's currently important is that Deletto partnered with Kyoto, a figurine manufacturing
What the
company,
heck?
to base the game's art style off their real-world figurines. I've never seen one in person, but apparently they're very flexible and high quality. I stumbled across a now-deleted Kotaku article that confirms this collaboration to be the case, although it still doesn't explain why it happened. I have no clue why Deletto decided to center their game's visuals around real-world figures, and because of how obscure Street Fighter Online is, there are no reputable outlets explaining how this came to be, which is, you know, the whole point of what I'm trying to uncover. Moving on, you may have noticed that many of the characters on screen are completely unknown, with there being a somewhat odd reason for this. Despite the game's name flat out saying Street Fighter, many of its characters come from other franchises, making it more of a crossover title. Batsu and Akira from
What?
Capcom's rival schools make it
What? Why? Why? Why would you do that? Like, at least put, like, Chun-Li and Ryu in there.
appearances, which makes sense considering Capcom also made that game, but they only represent the tip of the iceberg. 5 of the game's characters come from Chinese wuxia novels written by the late author Louis Cha. Going under the pseudonym of Jin Yong, Cha is reported to have written 15 novels in his lifetime, and he was apparently quite revered in China's world of literature.
Hello, Raven Narrator, how are you? Or, Ravenator 30,000, how you doing?
He's a fascinating and often controversial figure, and I killed some time the other day going through his Wikipedia page, but that brings me to one burning question. How the hell did his characters appear in Street Fighter
This is so unrelated, but we should do, like, a browsing Wikipedia stream someday, too, and just, like, see where we end up. I think that would be really funny.
Online? In fact, how did characters from all over the anime and real world show up too? Believe me, I searched high and low for an official reason given as to how all of this came about, especially when it came to Obama, but I just couldn't find anything solid. My theory is that interviews surrounding Street Fighter Online are both extremely hard to find and conducted entirely in Japanese, meaning it's borderline impossible for me to unearth them. Because Deletto was collaborating with Kyoto, Louis Cha, and the studios behind various anime franchises, I assume they had seemingly infinite connections within the entertainment industry, and seemingly infinite amounts of money to throw at anyone they thought would fit the project. Hell, they even collaborated with Bandai to incorporate gacha elements as part of the game's economy, so I think profit would have been Deletto's motivating force above all else. At this point, I've seen so many wild things that I'm surprised I haven't been forced into a mental asylum. But what's
Oh,
really
no, poor
driving me
dude.
crazy is the lack of concrete answers. This whole game seems like a massive shitpost, and I partially believe it's just a
I kind of want to play it, though. Like, do the mouse controls, do they feel good? Like, or is it just a shitpost of a game where it doesn't even, like, feel fun to play? Like, it's so odd. I've never heard of this.
wide-scale collective delusion, which is what makes the dry spell of information so hard to bear. I tried finding interviews, developer retrospectives, player feedback, etc., and came up empty every time, although I did find a somewhat weird press conference. I have no idea what's going on here, but it seems that a Chun-Li cosplayer and a bikini lady were hired to promote the game.
Of
Sure,
course.
why not? You do you, Japan. The Street Fighter fandom website confirms that Revoltech, another figurine manufacturing company, lent their proprietary engine to Deletto for use in the game, but there's no source that confirms this to be the case. Also, I don't know why a company outside of the video game and animation worlds would have their own engine, but what I can confirm is that they made a bunch of figures to promote the game. They
Okay.
actually look pretty cool, and even some of the wuxia characters
I like
are
the
here
art.
too. Okay, now that we know Deletto's backstory and some of the game's background information, let's explore Street Fighter Online's gameplay and character roster to figure out how it all worked. As we don't have direct access to Street Fighter Online, I've had to infer how the game functions from watching low-quality archival footage and by browsing the move list on the Street Fighter Wiki webpage, so forgive me if I miss something. As mentioned before, you only use the mouse to do battle, so it's the furthest thing from Street Fighter's regular 6-button control scheme.
Like...
Moving the mouse left and right.
Okay, so like... combos in Street Fighters rely a lot on like where you move the joystick. So it looks like you have to move the mouse in similar fashions. Like, so if you, for example, if you're doing a Hadouken or whatever, you probably have to move it like in a counterclockwise circle or something. That's my assumption. That would be so odd. That I feel like that would be a very, very hard to get used to.
Controls movement, with left click being punch and right click being kick.
Okay.
The middle mouse button was used for supers, and it seems as though players had up to 5 bars of meter, much like Marvel vs. Capcom. Combo structure also resembles Marvel, as it seems that Street Fighter Online contains a Magic Series system where normals can be freely chained together to begin combos. In all the videos I watched during my research, I always saw an insane looking air combo following a super jump, confirming that aerial mobility and aggression played a large role in the title's moment-to-moment gameplay. But it's not all about leaping to the skies, as most of your time spent outside of combos will be on the ground. Movement here looks loose and slippery, as if you were sliding on ice or floating through the air. I don't think I've seen a character in the game with slow walk or dash speed, so the general battle system looks quite frantic and offense focused, but that doesn't mean it's all one-sided. Defensive techniques like air teching shows up here too, as well as bursts and air dashes. These especially look nuts, as Chun-Li is about to break the space-time continuum with her speed. Also, there seems to be a mechanic where you can absorb enemy attacks to build meter. It looks a lot like Street Fighter 6's parry system, but you still take damage when activating it.
That is
Alpha
so
counters
interesting.
also join the party, with the retaliating fighter flashing red in the process. I'm not sure if Deletto's staff were playing Guilty Gear non-stop during development, but it's fascinating to see mechanics like these in a Street Fighter game. You can even burst out of supers, which is nuts, and I'm glad that the developers included strong defensive options. Now that I think about it, Street Fighter Online's battle mechanics are quite dense, as there are a multitude of both offensive and defensive ways for players to interact with one another, and I'm honestly quite impressed that a browser game is this detailed. All of this is controlled with the mouse, and with there only being 3 buttons and so many ways to move the thing, I wonder how consistent it all was to control. To make things crazier...
That's genuinely my question too. Like, imagine pulling up to like a professional, like a competition for Street Fighter, like Street Fighter, like what's the new one, Street Fighter 6, and you move the game with a fucking mouse. You just bring your like gamer mouse with you, and you're like, oh no, I don't need an arcade pad or anything. I just need my mouse. Like I don't like. I imagine if you had a nicer mouse made for gaming, it would be a little easier to play, but this is just so bizarre to me. I'm still trying to like wrap my head around like how this would feel to play. If my locals were running this version, I'd run. Yeah, no, that sounds so fun. Hi Ludacris, how you doing? What would the best mouse be for it? I'm just assuming like whatever is like the best mouse for gaming that's on the market that you would use for like one that's super articulated and ergonomic, not ergonomic necessarily, but one with just like buttons and stuff on it to like, you can button map it. But I forgot the name of the brand, but there's like a gaming brand. I think maybe Razer. I don't know if they're like the top of the line ones, but whatever the top of the line gaming mouse would be, I assume that would be your best bet, right? I'm just talking out of my ass, by the way. Don't like quote me on any of this. You need to see DSP claim he's the best at this game. Razer is overrated. Yeah, like, that's why I said I don't know if that's the best one on the market, because I remember the Razer stuff was pretty expensive back when I worked at GameStop, but I don't recall, like, it being, you know, DSP was DSP. Like, I see lolcow, and I'm like, oh, that's probably not a good sign, right? I'm familiar with Low Tier God, unfortunately. For all the bad reasons and all the awful shit he does, but I don't know who DSP is. And your internet connection as well, yeah, probably. If you only need the 3 mouse buttons to play, you probably wouldn't need extra buttons. Yeah, you're right. I kind of thought about that in real time. Just get something that feels good in hand, perhaps even a vertical mouse since it's closer to a joystick in shape. A vertical mouse. Is that like one of those ergonomic ones? Those ones are so hard for me to like figure out. Like I've used them before, but they just feel so weird to me. And I know they're more ergonomic, but oh my god. But that might work for a game like this. I don't know. He's some Street Fighter player who's now broken, begging his fans for money. Ah, yeah, it's never a good sign when it becomes that, does it? I mean, he's always been begging for money. Yeah, that sounds. I don't know who this dude is, but yeah, no. Whenever someone's associated with like repeated e-begging, it's usually just not a good person. Like. But I don't know who he is, so I'm really not anyone who can, comment on that. This video was what brought the game to my attention. I clicked on it because of Obama. Yeah, like, why is Obama in the game? He's also known for being really, really bad at video games. That kind of reminds me, this has nothing to do with anything, and I don't know if the guy himself is a bad dude, but I remember seeing a Cuphead review years and years ago, and the guy was just complete ass at playing Cuphead. Like, he was just not good at it at all. This is a clip from, like, when Cuphead came out. It's from years ago. But it just kind of reminded me of that. YouTuber begging for money? I don't think I've ever heard of that before. No, for real. Like, a fundraiser is one thing. Like, somebody's actually coming in on, like, hard times and is doing a fundraiser and actually putting that money towards the thing they need. Sure. But if you're just begging for money from your fan base, like, that just seems like not a good look. Like, it's not something I would ever do. Like, I don't think I would ever, like, do that even if I genuinely was, like, on the street. Like, I just don't think that's appropriate. Pretty sure that was a gaming journalist rather than a streamer. Okay, Smith. Yeah, that's probably right, Smith Zero. I just remember there's, like, footage of it. It's been years and years, though, since I've seen that footage. Could be thinking of a different video. Yeah, I don't remember. I think it was a Do It Glasses, but I could be completely wrong. Like I said, it's been a while. Seeing people crashing out on Cuphead was the funniest thing back then. No, for real. Cuphead and Mario Maker, those were the days. But let's finish this video real quick.
According to the move lists I found online, every single special move can be performed in the air, as well as most supers.
That's crazy.
All of this confirms, at least in my mind, that Street Fighter Online was more of an anime fighter than you would initially think, which is an interesting direction to go in. The anime fighter subgenre is known for its complexity, so including its mechanics into a free-to-play title designed for casual players is certainly unique. Speaking of casuals, the game's roster contains all sorts of weird inclusions, with fellow Japanese series Cyborg 009, Detroit Metal City, and Space Sheriff Gavan having playable fighters here as well. I'm not super into anime, so that's probably why I haven't heard of this series before, but I can imagine that their representation must have puzzled their fanbases, hopefully in a good way. Every fighter also contains vastly different move lists, with Akira, for example, having a whole series of wreckers. Compare that to Detroit Metal City's Krauser,
I love the cosplayers.
And yeah, I'll stick with this guy for his ease of use. Going back to Akira, I'd like to highlight this line right here. If this is true, then certain attacks were locked behind specific paid cosmetic items, which is pretty shady. This phenomenon also applies to the other fighters, so I hope you're ready to hit the gacha casino. This ties into what I said before about the action figure gameplay implications, and if you were wondering why some characters look like randomly generated Saints Row protagonists, there's a good reason. Street Fighter Online contains extensive character customization, with players being encouraged to purchase digital items that could be equipped.
Character customization in a game like this, that's crazy. And that is a thing in the newest Street Fighter. Like, there's absolutely character customization, so that's crazy that it was a thing. There's your Toku Lost Media. Yeah, Paprika Maru. There's one of the many pieces of Toku Lost Media.
Equipped onto their fighters. I think this was somewhat meant to replicate the experience of customizing real-world action figures, but let's be honest, it was most likely done for monetary reasons. This old video I found gives us a glimpse as to what the pre-battle menu looked like, with a full rotation of your fighter's model being on display, although extra footage from the aforementioned press conference lets us witness another pre-battle menu. I'm unsure if this is from a different build of the game or if it's just another menu entirely, but it seems as though this is where you would challenge other players. I also don't know how this is the case, but it seems that Zangief has a multi-hitting DP, so I assume you could alter your fighter's move list before battle. Looking at it holistically, I believe Delotto wanted players to have their own unique fighters with slight differences from one another. This video indicates that a stat system was also part of the game, with the red and blue Japanese characters translating to attack and defense, respectively. I tried to translate the final character into English, but no website I used was able to do this, so if you know what this means, please leave a comment. All of these
yeah, I got nothing. Hang on, let me look. I can't
the
tell what
final
that is.
character into English, but no website I used was able to do this, so if you know what this means, please leave a comment. All of these systems are certainly ambitious, but I can't help but wonder if there was a specific combination of items that would make you overwhelmingly powerful. If this was the case, there would also need to be a strong anti-cheat system, or else it would turn into Tekken Revolution, but I'm going off topic. Street Fighter Online's gameplay is surprisingly detailed, very much so, but I assume that not many people were happy with the roster.
This is just super lost now, right? It's completely lost. That Chun-Li cosplayer is genuinely so cute, you're right. Man. Do you know of Vermilion Pleasure Night? That doesn't sound safe to Google. I do not know what that is. Oh, yeah, it is. Level 1 Neko. Hi-Ai, yes.
So, classic
Well,
fighters.
Hi-Ai. Not Hi-Ai, there's no. Give me one moment. Yeah, that's correct. Are you a fighting game enjoyer? Yeah, I like Street Fighter. I used to be really into Street Fighter 4. The one on PS3. I got really good at it too. Like I was, back in high school, I was like obsessed with that game. And I have the OG, like the early Street Fighter games, like in a collection on the Switch, and I have an arcade stick, like for the Switch that I play with. I really like playing as Sakura. Go figure, like ironically, the character named Sakura, who's like, she's like a real Ryu clone. I don't know why I keep saying Ryu. And yeah, no, I like her. I like her playstyle a lot. Sakura is in the Fortnite item shop at the moment. Not that Sakura. I'm talking. Oh, in Street Fighter, you mean? Never mind. I thought you meant Naruto. My dumbass. I forgot that like those characters absolutely are like in Fortnite, the Street Fighter game characters. At what point, what character isn't in Fortnite? No, absolutely. I don't know anyone who isn't.
It's like Ryu, Chun-Li, and Guile were doing battle with who? What? And the
I
icon.
know you aren't into planes, but you should look into ANA's A8380. They're pretty cute back in the day. They also had 747s with Pokemon designs. You should check it out after this video. Probably not this stream, but maybe another stream, Majed. But I've seen those Pokemon planes. I remember like really wanting to fly in one as a kid. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm gonna hop off. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you, Mihai. Thanks for joining us. I'll probably hop off soon too. I'm pretty tired. And I have a lot of editing ahead of me. But after this video, maybe we'll check out one more thingy, and then we can head out.
Huh?
We'll see
and
how
I
I
don't
feel.
believe that the carryover between Street Fighter, old school anime, and Chinese wuxia novel fans would have been very high. Before we move on, I would also like to circle back to
Before
Obama
we move
for a
on.
moment. Despite being one of the most popular figures on the planet, I found no surviving gameplay footage of his inclusion. The only
That's insane. That's insane. The fucking Obama gameplay in Mouse Street Fighter is lost media. No, not even footage of it. That's like super lost. That's insane, bro. What the? This is so funny.
evidence
Why is there not an LMW article on this? This is like, somebody please make an LMW article of this. Like, holy crap.
that actually proves he was
I'll look to make sure there isn't one to be safe, but holy crap.
in the game were these two screenshots. I also have no idea how he even made it into the game at all in the first place.
Oh, he even has an
Perhaps
emote.
someone on the Japanese dev team who was really into American politics lobbied for his inclusion? I'm really not sure, but hey, it goes to show that reality is often stranger than fiction. Anyway, the gameplay looks absolutely cracked, and I can only dream of what players would find if the public had access to its mechanics nowadays. I guarantee you that someone with an anime profile picture would find an unburstable touch of death in the first week alone. Normally, here's why I would discuss reviews and the long-lasting impact of a certain title, but none of this can be said for Street Fighter Online. As the game was only accessible for a few years in a country smaller than Texas, I'm not shocked to find that press coverage was minimal. Plus, online content creation and video game streaming in 2008 was significantly smaller than it is today, making it nigh impossible to decipher how the Street Fighter fanbase judged the game. The only resource I was able to find was a lengthy Resetera thread, but this doesn't contain anything that we don't already know. Reception to the title couldn't have been
God,
too
2009, it's not even that old either. This has to be on somebody's computer, right? This has to be somewhere. If they can find the Herobrine stream just on someone's computer that's roughly the same age, like, this has to be somewhere, right?
positive. However, as on June 1st, 2009, Kotaku reported that Street Fighter Online
Obama
was
lost
shutting down
media.
for good later that August. Deletto's official statement merely
This
mentioned...
is so unrelated, but I remember this is like one of the funniest usernames I've ever heard in my life. When I was at PAX West in Seattle last fall, there was a Pokemon tournament for Pokemon Battle Revolution on the Wii, and I believe it was that game. I watched a few tournaments, but one of the usernames for the tournament that they said over the PA, like, oh, will this user come to the front? The tournament's beginning. Bro on the PA was like, can Obama Gaming come to the front? Obama Gaming, to come, like, enter in the tournament and, like, play. And it's like, Obama Gaming. It's not like super hilarious or unique or like ingenious, but I always think back to Obama Gaming. I never saw the dude's actual face, but I hope Obama Gaming is doing good. Like, sometimes I just think back and I'm like, huh, I hope Obama Gaming is doing well, you know? Maybe Obama became a gamer after being president. Yeah, that's his in retirement. He just became a really hardcore gamer. Obama Gaming, yeah, no, for real. That was like, I don't know, that just tops everything else I've ever heard in my life as far as like gamer tags. Like, oh, look at Obama Gaming. It's so random and good. I still don't know what Obama's last name is. Oh my God, why did that get me so happy? I still don't know what Obama's last name. I almost believed that too, but for a split second, I was like, for a split second, I was almost like, huh, what's his last name then? Oh my goodness, bro, Jeremiah, oh my God. Oh my God. Alright, let's finish this gosh dang video. His last name is Care. Obama Care, God, that's a throwback.
that quote-unquote
Oh, goodness
various
gracious.
reasons led to the game's downfall, but this is obviously very vague on purpose. For an online game
Yeah.
to shut down this quickly, it must have had extremely poor player retention rates and profited far below its budget. Live service games are really expensive after all, so if not many people are playing, you might as well pull the plug and move on to the next thing. On the bright side, I guess this
Unfortunately.
game was alive longer than Concord. I think I have to give it that. It was at this point that I searched for information regarding Deletto's next project, but much to my surprise, there was none. Yeah, Capcom never commissioned Deletto to develop another video game. Not even a small-scale mobile title came out of the studio, so I assume they worked quietly in the background on non-game related endeavors, things like maintaining websites and whatnot. Later, in February 2011, Capcom astonished everyone by unveiling a press release explaining that they had decided to merge with Deletto. They explained that Deletto is engaged primarily in the operation of internet portal sites. In recent years, rapid growth in the popularity of social games has brought about a major shift in the operating environment. Capcom
Lular on YouTube was like, also, does that mean Obama is officially part of the Street Fighter universe? If this game is canon, yeah, yes it does.
has decided to merge with Deletto for the
I don't
purpose
think
of
this game's
overcoming the
canon,
challenges
though.
posed by the new market
It's
conditions.
got like Chinese novel
Okay,
characters.
in non-PR speak, that pretty much means that Capcom saw Deletto as a valuable asset, one that could assist with the managing of their push for social games. I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember, but Capcom was shooting mobile games out of all of the holes in the early
Oh.
2010s. And
I think this was Lost Media too for a time, if I'm thinking of the same thing. There was like a arcade Resident Evil game or Silent Hill or something along those lines. I think Resident Evil. That was Lost Media, and it was found a couple years ago.
as Deletto was rendered defunct by the merger, it makes sense why they would no longer be credited on any projects. It's because they didn't exist anymore. Remember how Blue Castle Games
That's
were bought out
sad.
by Capcom and had their name changed to Capcom Vancouver following the release of Dead Rising 2? Well, the situation with Deletto was more or less identical, but instead of developing kick-ass zombie games that led to their slow and painful death, they would stay in their lane of support work. Following the merger, there were no public mentions of what Deletto became. I assume they're currently a skeleton crew within Capcom who aren't working on anything major, but there's also
Yeah.
no evidence to prove that this is the case, so it's just my speculation. It's almost as if their output completely vanished once the Capcom acquisition had finalized, and I wonder what they've worked on since. Traveling forward into the present day reveals that Capcom has surprisingly made a few efforts to keep the game's memory alive. It's nothing too crazy, mind
That
you,
tiger.
but the game's original
That tiger's just hanging out. What the hell? Why is bro there? Bro is the chillest tiger. He's just kind of like, hey, what's up? What's going on? You guys, his face too, bro, just is so unbothered by what's going on. These two bros going at it. Like one of them is wearing the skin of his fucking brethren right there, and he just does not care.
Protagonist, Shin, received brand new artwork on the Street Fighter V website.
That art's
Shin
cool.
also makes an appearance in Udon Street Fighter Masters Game Gal's comic book, although it's
Oh my
reported
god, that art is so cute, dude. And the Sakura right there. This is Sakura, by the way. That's what her character looks like. I also like Chun-Li a lot, but Sakura is probably my favorite as far as two to play with. That art is so fucking cute, though. Oh my god. I don't see Cammy, though. There's no Cammy love, and that makes me sad. But that is the cutest art. Oh my goodness.
loses to Juri in a fight. Now that I mentioned Juri, she was somewhat of a trailblazer for being Street Fighter's first Korean character, but really that title should belong to Shin. He was doing Taekwondo and representing South Korea years before Juri hit the scene, but
okay.
as our favorite lovable psychopath appeared in the mainline entries, it's a no-brainer as to why she's enormously more popular. Aside from that,
I wonder
Street Fighter
why.
Online doesn't have much in the way of an observable legacy. Capcom never attempted to release a browser-based Street Fighter title again, with their online effort shifting towards the growing mobile game space. Live service Street Fighter games do exist on smartphones, but they have next to nothing in common with Street Fighter Online, which is no surprise. It sucks to say, but this game just kind of came and went, and there aren't many people who know about it or have even played it. I wish I was one of them, but the game's termination has made this nothing but a fleeting desire.
Yeah.
Unless someone can
I
find
wish
a
I
copy
knew
of
about
Street
this.
Fighter
I
Online,
would
get it to run on
like. Do you ever see like lost media and you're like, wow, it's lost now, but I at least wish I have like the. I at least wish I had the memory of playing it or watching it or like consuming it in some way, right? Like you at least wish you could know what it felt like. Like this is one of those things. I really wish I knew how this game felt and what it felt like to play it.
on operating systems and maintain fan servers with playable netcode, I can't see
heck?
anyone ever getting to experience the game again. Despite spending the past few days tearing my hair out doing research, I've somewhat developed an
I feel that.
affection for Street Fighter
Yeah,
Online.
Cyborg
I've always been a big
009 is
fan
up
of
in here, what the
Japanese
heck?
exclusive works, so my nerd brain wishes
is
it
so
could throw out a
odd.
Hadouken using the mouse. I feel that a deadly concoction consisting of always online gameplay, a character roster made up mostly of unknowns, and a puzzling art style is what killed the game's chances of being a success. When
Yeah.
looking at the current gaming landscape, I also can't envision a positive reception. Mobile fighting games with touchscreen controls had their heyday around 13 years ago, so it couldn't do well in that form, and a browser-exclusive game also doesn't make much sense nowadays either. I don't ever see a way for a title like this to not crash and burn, and since it didn't do too well when it was fresh and exciting and brand new, I think the concept itself, just on a base core
they
level,
do
just
have
wasn't
you,
cut out to
though.
be
I stand
developed into a
corrected.
full game. With that being said,
I was initially in the impression that there was no actual Street Fighter characters, which would have been such a bad call.
I still love it though, and if you want to play something that looks kind of similar, I would actually recommend Tatsunoko vs Capcom.
Oh,
This game has a
I forgot
universal
about
air
that
dash,
game.
a burst, and some truly crazy combos, so you
This
should
is the
check it
game
out.
with the Gotchaman characters in it, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure this is the one with the Gotchaman characters in it.
It's pretty fun. Yes, I know I'm grasping at straws here, but just let me cope. Okay, if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you and your
You are
time. and I
welcome.
hope you
This
had
is a good
fun.
video. I
Take
like
care,
this.
and I'll see you in the next one.
Yes. You know what? Yeah, I'll subscribe. That was fun.
Over the
I
years,
love niche
Street
stuff
Fighter
like this.
4 has been home to many things
That was a good
fighting game-
video.
No matter how big
Make
of
sure,
a Street
yeah,
Fighter
okay. Kanage. Here's the channel if you guys are interested and you like this kind of stuff. That was a good video. I enjoyed that. I'll subscribe. Oh, wait, I'm not logged in. I'll go subscribe from my phone because I don't want to log in on YouTube and potentially reveal personal information. But, you know, I'll go do it over here. This is good stuff, though. Definitely check this guy's videos out. I like Street Fighter. I've had on and off moments with Street Fighter. I got Street Fighter 6 and got really into it for like a week. I need to get back into it. I'll probably get it on PC if I do though, because I don't want to buy PlayStation 5's internet service to play it. Or maybe on Switch. I don't know if it'll run good. Yeah. Yeah, bros, that's pretty intense. I'm really, it's great how they stretched him to fit this aspect ratio, because this aspect ratio is kind of a bitch. Like, I can't figure out what to do with my own at present. But let's look at one more Lost Media topic, and then we'll call it a night. How about that? I really want to show you guys Coral Island, though. If any of you guys like farming sims, I just really, really just want to take the time to just sing my praises about a little game called Coral Island. But I just haven't, I don't know, like, it'll take a minute for me to, like, get started. It's a farming sim, but there's a lot to it. I'll just show you guys. There's, here, just shout out another smaller YouTuber. There is this girl, what's her name? This is Coral Island, by the way. It's a farming sim, like Harvest Moon, but it's definitely more for, like, you know, adult players who want more out of the farming sim than just like base level stuff, if that makes sense. Let's look at the trailer. I love this
Coral
game so much.
Island's multiplayer and romance update offers
Wait,
all
that's
new
just an update. I don't even. Hold on. Update trailer. Okay, 1.0 trailer. Maybe that's good. Yeah, there's romance in this game. There's a lot of options. I don't spoil anything, but there's a lot of options. Yeah, it's just like Harvest Moon or Stardew, but it genuinely, there's so much more to it. There's so much more you can do, like, just to, like, you can make compost with this, you can recycle things and, like, make crafting items with things. You can make, like, bronze bars with this, I believe, like metal bars, and, like, upgrade your housing and do other shit with it. You can go diving and collect coral and sea creatures. You can collect bugs, you can go fishing. Like, it has, like, those mechanics too, of course. There's so much cool, like, I don't know, like, cozy gaming, like, it's not something I want to do 100% of the time, but when a game's really good, like, when a cozy game's super fun, I'm just all about it, and this game is one of those games right now, for sure. Like, I'm so into it, and there's so many, I'm sorry, I'm tweaking out. There's so many quality of life features in this game, too, that are just so nice, coming from Harvest Moon, and just knowing how all those games have been, like, the same game, one after another, after another, after another, just for years, man. And, like, this feels like a natural expansion and upgrade to that. And it's on an island, it's very tropical and fun, and you can have pets, you can have, like, livestock, of course. It's so fun, man. Like, I want to play it on stream so bad. I want to make a new file, and then maybe we can, like, vote on, like, what character to romance, like, what chat wants to do. I think that would be genuinely so fun, and I'm just getting so excited thinking about it. Like, I love this game so much. It's only $30 on Steam, by the way, if that's something you're into. I would, hang on. If that's something you're into, it's only $30 on Steam, I'm just saying. And this is not a game I see many people talk about. And it's such a good game, I think it needs more attention for sure. I might check it out then. I love Harvest Moon, and... Hang on, I need to stop talking over the sound. It's probably so annoying. I might check it out then. I love Harvest Moon and could be fun to splash in between horror games. Yeah, no, it's definitely a fun, cozy wind down game. Like the other game I'm really into, I haven't played it a lot recently because I've been so busy and playing Coral Island instead also, is Marvel Rivals. And like when I'm like burnt out on a fast-paced game like that, this is perfect to like splash in between before I rage quit or just get really upset if I'm on a losing streak. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go play Coral Island. Other game I'm trying to get into, by the way, is The Sims, and I just haven't really I've never played The Sims, and I started playing The Sims 4, and I just genuinely don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing. If I'm being honest, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing at this point. I might watch some like how-to videos or figure it out. But yeah, no, Coral Island I've been super into, as well as a few other games. I was playing the new Digimon game too on stream a little while ago, and I'd love to revisit that again. But be God, no, for real. And speaking of games that be God, that's it. Or just be homie. Yeah, no, like I don't know what the hell. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what the right things to do, I guess is, but. It looks fun once I figure it out. I really love Tomodachi Life, and the new one coming out. Oh, we're gonna be streaming that for sure because I love Tomodachi Life. I don't know if I could get the 3DS one going. I'd probably have to find means to make it playable to stream it. Yeah, no, but that would be fun too. And then of course the Yakuza like marathon. I absolutely that's a definite because I held the poll. Most people were into it because of course Yakuza games are peak, and I think it'd be really fun. So we'll start that probably next week. But we'll also play other games in between. I also want to try playing Peak. I might try and get like Blame It on George on board if he's up for it. I think that'd be fun. Just like or Repo. We love to play Repo. I think that'd be another good idea too. Jeremiah, yeah, you're kind of right there, Jeremiah. I just, I don't want to directly say that. I don't know if I can. But yeah, no, this game's so fun. This is kind of I'm not even this far in the game yet where you see, but you can go diving and there's like there's a good story too. Like there's a story and there's like this corporate like oil, there was like an oil, what the heck? Oh, there's mermaids and stuff too. When I say there's a lot of characters you can date, I mean there's a lot. And there's fantasy elements, as you can see. But there's like an antagonist and stuff too. Like there's a whole like environmentally conscious story where like there's this evil corporation that's trying to destroy the island, and there was like an oil spill, and there's like elements of like having to heal the island and stuff. Like it's a really cool game. There's a lot of thought that was put into it, and I love it so much. Also, hang on, I love this little robot guy. His name's Kibble. And there's mining. As there Harvest Moon has mining too, but there is mining here, and I think there's a lot more. They actually put like quests and stories related to it and stuff. I think it's really cool. I'm pretty sure you can stream 3DS gameplay to a PC using Homebrew. I haven't looked into it much. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can, but I remember back in the day it was extremely hard and your 3DS had to be modded. So, I'll have to figure out my options. But yeah, this game's so good, genuinely. And this is just the 1.0 trailer, by the way. There's been so many updates, and they're still updating the game. Like, this was, like, back a couple years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, 2023. And they're still adding updates to the game and a ton of different features, new things into the game. There's still more you can do beyond this, but I won't spoil it, because that's, like, later stuff. But yeah, I would love if you guys got into this game, and I'd love to show it to you guys, like if you want to see it ever. I'd love to do just a Coral Island stream, but the day cycles are kind of long, so I don't know if we have time to start it today, unfortunately. Hi Sakura, first time watching you live, love your videos. Thank you, Gruff said. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me check YouTube. Oh, I am on YouTube, silly me. Let me check Twitch. Oh, it only really works on the new 3DS. The old one's apparently too weak to get a quality stream. Yeah, that's probably it. So my information, the source of this info really is from back when I used to watch Etika a lot, and he streamed Pokemon Sun and Moon and Fire Emblem Awakening, and I remember he went through this whole side quest of trying to get his like his 3DS modded to stream, and it was a big pain in the ass, but you know, those games came out a long time ago, and I imagine the scene's a lot different now. So I'm just using outdated info, probably. I wish there was an easy way to get certain lost media to catch on. Yeah. Rest in peace, Etika. For real, for real. Rest in peace, Etika. Like, he's part of the reason why I make content. Like, when I was, like, super sick and bedridden during the 2010s and, like, just didn't really get out of the house, I would just watch his streams all the time. And he just, like, he was such a, you know, such a cool, like, energetic, like he was just such a, what's the word, it was just such a, it was just so instantly, it would instantly like brighten my mood to watch his videos just because his energy was just so contagious, and he was just such a positive and like, you know, like if I feel like if Etika was in a room, like everyone would instantly, like, he'd be the life of the party, you know, like he was just so fun to watch. And when my life really sucked and I was just stuck in bed and, you know, life kind of was awful, like I would watch Etika streams, and that part of that made me realize, like, you know, it just, if I can like reach out and make a YouTube channel and just be myself and like share my interests with the world, like, you know, that'd be pretty cool. And that was part of what made me like become what I am today. Not really a streamer yet. I wasn't really planning on streaming at that point in time, but yeah, that's part of it. A capture card mod would be higher quality, but also a lot more expensive. The homebrew I was looking at was a basically free method. Okay, I'd have to look into it. I'd have to look into it for sure, Smith Zero, but thank you so much. It's been years, like I said. He was like the Terry Crews of video games. Yeah, that's kind of accurate, yeah. Bro, his Smash reactions are so legendary. They're so goated. I a lot of the time, whenever I see a big Nintendo announcement, like with the Switch 2, or just like a new Fire Emblem, I always think, like, God, Etika probably would have loved this. It would have been so cool to see him stream these games, you know, because he was like one of the OG, like, big streamers, and he streamed on YouTube too. He wasn't even a Twitch streamer. I'll never forget how he named Sakurai Daddy Sakurai, yes! If you're like an OG fan, you remember the Young Ramsey arc, where he like filmed himself cooking a fucking steak, and he called himself Young Ramsey for like a week when he went through like a Gordon Ramsay phase. Like, all the Etika memes are so fucking funny. And then when he reacted to like JoJo, like Phantom Blood, and he threatened Dio with the fucking same steak knife. Yeah, no, he was funny. He was such a cool dude. I miss Etika for real. Like, it's been like 6 years now. I hate that time passes. You know, it hurts. It hurts a lot. You know, like, I never met him, I didn't know him personally, but, like, he had such an impact on, like, me as a content creator, and, like, just my life, like, back then at that point in time. One of the very few sources of joy, aside from, like, actual, like, video games and stuff, so, you know, an anime. But yeah, Coral Island, it's a cool game. We should stream it sometime. And we can, like, just, like, you know, fuck around on Coral Island. I think that'd be fun. And we'll, of course, do the Yakuza Let's Play, but let's do one more, like, lost media topic just before I head out. I am getting a little tired. It's been a long day just trying to troubleshoot fucking OBS for like hours. So let's see. I have some over here. Let me just move over. Alright, there I am. Hell yeah, Coral Island is worth it. Yeah, no, that's what I've been saying, guys. Like, please play Coral Island. Please play Coral Island. It's so fun. If you like farming sims. If you don't like that type of game, you don't have to play it, obviously. But if you do, it's a really fun game. And I didn't expect to get hooked, but I got hooked. It's really fun. I swear Vermilion is an anti. I'm gonna Google it on my phone. What is it called again? Raster of Mandomness. Let me know what that's called again. I'll Google it on my phone. But there's another. I want to get through the endless pile of lost media suggestions I got on my socials. So let's just go through one more before I head out. Let me see what I had saved. Okay, had to open OBS again. Vermilion Pleasure Night. Okay, let me Google it. Oh, has discussion on the Lost Media Wiki. Okay, we can maybe make that our topic if it's, you know, safe for work and not something awful. You know, just the word pleasure in it just kind of makes me not 100%. Games I've fallen in love with are the Talos Principle and sequel. I remember seeing that when I worked at GameStop, and there was a dude who came in once and told me those games are amazing, but I don't really know much about them. Vermilion Pleasure Night. Oh, it's a variety show. Okay, that makes sense that it's Japanese. Don't worry, Saka. Thank you. Thank you, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. There's a photo of women performing surgery on a pair of honkers or maybe a booty right there that I can't show, but that looks cool. What the heck? Or VPN is the acronym. Final episode. Oh, okay. It's like a Y2K thing. How did I not? It's also insanely weird. I can try and show. Is it like a adult variety show? Fully Lost episode 65 of Vermilion Pleasure Night. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can check this out. Let me see if there's a Lost Media Wiki article, but if not, we can check out Reddit. That's usually my go-to if there's no LMW article. But that's crazy because I've been researching Y2K stuff in Japan for months now. And I genuinely had no idea this was a thing. How did I miss out on this? Holy crap. I guess it wasn't like, I guess it was kind of, you know, underground or something. But it's a variety show, so I don't know. That's crazy. Actually, you know, this is totally my bad for thinking it was like hentai or something. Because I, mostly only aired in Japan in 2000. Okay, so it's like right on Y2K. Thank you, genuinely, like, I'm glad I just searched it up, because this is, like, stuff I need for, like, footage for, like, my Y2K video. Like, I need to discuss this, and I would have not if I didn't know about this, like, during the stream. So thank you, Raster Amanda Miss. Thank you very much. I got 5 DVDs in America, but it's still not all of it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna read this Reddit article and tell me if it's accurate. There's a Lost Media Wiki forums article too, actually. Tell me if it's still accurate, and we can go from there. Let me find it. Back to web browsing mode. Oops. I have to move her in. Let me put my Lost Media glasses on. Hang on. My Lost Media glasses. Selecto. Okay. Okay. My Lost Media glasses. There we go. There we go, gamers. Okay, cool. I didn't read any of that. I probably should have. Oh, well. Oh, that is so cute, dog. Oh, my God. Okay. Okay. I got my Lost... They're not really on her very well, but... There we go. There we go. Yeah! By the way, these aren't, like, attributed to my model. They're just, like, free with the software, so... Just so you guys know that. There we go. Alright, that's as good as it's gonna get. Actually, no, Jesus Christ. I'll put it like this. Can I make it? Yeah, there. Okay. There we go. That's cute, right? I don't know how to make it rotate, but that's cute. Can I, like, left-click it? No. Please rotate. Please be normal. Hang on. Maybe reset it. Do you know what? Yeah, okay, I'll just make it a little smaller, and that'll be that. That's all I can do, I guess. Actually. How do I get rid of it? Hang on. There we go. Alright, let's try it again. Got gamer chair. I got heart glasses. Alright, let's try this one more time. Select. Okay. Control and scroll, just like normal items. Okay. Oh, it's pink now. I mean green. It's green now. put it on her head. Just put it on her head. Stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Something like that. There we go. Yeah! That's as good as it's gonna get. Alright. I hear little noises. Is that Yusuke? Yeah, the dog is playing right now. He's just being a silly boy. He's just a silly boy. Yeah, it's perfect, right? It's perfect he's gonna get it. It's not like rigged to the model, but, you know, that's pretty cool. I like how it's, like, reflective. That's cool. Alright, anyways. Back to, our scheduled programming, right? Let me see. Urameshi, get over here. Fight me. No! No! Imagine, like, if there was another dog named, fuck it, what is his name? What's the red-haired guy's name again? Why am I forgetting this? It's one of my favorite anime. It starts with a U? No. Kuwabata, that's it. Yeah, imagine there's a Shiba named Kuwabata, and he's like an orange Shiba, and they have like a rivalry. Thank you, Leon. Thank you, Jeremiah. Clifford. Yeah, Clifford too. Clifford would probably win that fight. Is Clifford a kaiju, guys? Would Clifford be considered a kaiju? I feel like he would, right? A very silly kaiju, but a kaiju nonetheless. Anyways, let me move her, make it a little smaller, because we're gonna read some internet. We're gonna read some internet, guys. Alright, I think that's fine. Alright. Voice crack, Jesus Christ. Okay. Web browsing mode. Oh, we're still in Coral Island. Is Grape Ape a kaiju? I swear to God, somebody... Was that... It might have been Game Grumps. I remember hearing that somewhere. Somebody, like, argued that if Grape Ape was a kaiju. But yeah, I think so. I mean, he's a big ape, right? Underrated kaiju flick, Clifford 2021. I saw that on Paramount Plus. It was Game Grumps. Yeah, that's a deep cut. That's another one I used to watch all the time back in the 2010s. Not so much anymore. It just doesn't have the same spark it did, in my opinion, like, back then. But... Hello, Vicin, how you doing, friend? If you guys don't know, Vicin made this model and rigged it. And also the background, but the background's not present right now. The legends say to this day, Toshi is so good. Yeah, no, Game Grumps, I don't know. I don't really... it just doesn't stick with me anymore. Like, my favorite era of Game Grumps was back when they did, like, Steam Train and Ross was still on there, Rubber Ross. I still catch Ross's streams, actually, though, as far as, like, Twitch streamers. Like, I still watch his streams on and off. But as far as Game Grumps, it just... I don't know. Thank you, Jeremiah. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good era. Like, their Mario Maker era was goated. Also. And the last thing I watched from them was probably their Ace Attorney playthrough, and that was it. After, like, COVID happened, it just fell off. I'm glad you're doing well, Vicin. I'm glad you're doing good, friend. But yeah, we were gonna read a article. What was it? Oh, that's right. That Vermilion Pleasure, whatever the frick. Hang on. I get so confused. I gotta move the Firefox tab to somewhere that's, like, readable. God, my ADHD brain, it sucks so much. What was I going... Okay, that's right. Vermilion Pleasure Night. That sounds so dirty out of context, bro. Like, you can't blame me for thinking that was something awful. But, Lost Media. Let me know if this is, accurate still. Oh my god, that Doremi figure is so fucking cute, dog. Okay, ADHD, I'm so sorry, guys. Lost Media. Let me know if this is accurate still, friendos. We'll do this one. Oh, Tails, that's cute. Oh, I know this person. Years and years ago, they helped me out with my, In the Distance thread on the LMW forums. That's cool. But this was around that time, too. Alright, we're gonna read this. Vtuber mode activated. Let me make sure I'm not in the way. Let me make stuff a little smaller. Give me a few months. Nah, bro. Thanks for making such a cute model for Sakura. No, for real. No, definitely. Vicin is great for VTuber models. Like, exactly what I wanted. Anyways, I gotta make her smaller so you guys can read what I'm looking at. Give me 1 minute. Alright. I think that's good. Alright. Back to Firefox. God, we're not even started yet. But after this, I'm probably gonna head out. I'm just very, very slippy. I might need to move it around, but I think we're good. You guys can see the top, and I'm just going to read the top and then scroll, so I think we're good. All right, so this is Vermilion Pleasure Night. I guess it's partially lost media. That one user, Rester of Mandomness. Let me know if this is still accurate, but it sounds still accurate. I just don't know because this article's a little old. Let me see if the Reddit one's easier to read. Actually, no, I can just do this. I'm such a silly goose. All right, that's better. That's better. Hang on. Streaming is so unusual for me, I'll just say, because they're just like, it's in real time, just me like fucking around with shit. And I'm not used to that. I'm so used to making videos and cutting out all my flubs and all me like messing up voice lines and all these things that I show on screen. Like, I'm so not used to just people in real time watching me fuck around with stuff like this and just waiting on me. It's such a weird feeling. There's a spreadsheet on the Reddit. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll read the Reddit then. I bet that's a better thing. But there is this LMW post also, but that Reddit. I try to go to the LMW first. Just so everything is, like, for the most part. Here's the link. Official website. Alright, yeah, let's read this Reddit thread. Seems pretty interesting. Let me know if this is right, though. Let me look again. Alright, and you guys can see. Most of this show did not leave Japan. That makes sense. It didn't. Yeah. Alright, let me read this, though. Let's do a little reading. Hi! In the year 2000, there was a lost Japanese sketch comedy show called Vermilion Pleasure Night. There would be a few different segments per episode, and some reoccurred each episode. I've been watching the show, but I can't find anything on the episodes past episode 5. There were 25 episodes in total, but it seems only 5 of them got released onto DVD by ADV Pictures. That's weird. They're like an anime localization company. I don't know how it got released physically in Japan, but I'm guessing they released the whole show, as it seemingly was pretty popular when it came out. I'm also not sure why only 5 episodes were released in America. Does anyone have any idea where to find the rest of the episodes, or are they just lost? Not accurate, it's not 5 episodes. Okay, cool, thanks for letting me know. I'll read the LMW article too, just to be safe. This is the only Reddit post that came up. Alright. I think you're a bit confused with the VPN releases, so I can clarify. Vermilion Pleasure Night was a comedy sketch show of about 20 minutes that aired in the early mornings on Japanese TV stations during 6 months of the year 2000. So only half a year, between July and December, totaling 25 episodes. After the broadcasting, DVDs with all the episodes of the show were released. In Japan, there were 5 volumes plus Color of Life film compilation, basically a greatest hits. In the US, 3 DVDs were released, volumes 1, 2, and 3, containing 5 volumes plus Color of Life from the Japanese release. Sometime later, a complete collection was released in the US with 3 volumes in one release. Interesting. Okay, let me read it. No full from the beginning. But yeah, there is an ADV DVD, and that's how any of it escaped. Okay, interesting. Even though it is somewhat difficult to find some information about it on the internet, the entire Vermilion Pleasure Night is available to watch. Complete Japanese volumes 1, 2, 3, and 5 can be easily found on YouTube. Japanese volume 4 can be found on Dailymotion. So even if there were no such videos on the internet, as said, a complete DVD collection was released in the US. Definitely not lost media. I hope this helped. By the way, I found this topic by accident. It took a while for someone to answer, but here's my reply. Okay, so searching about VPN on YouTube, I found that they removed Color of Life when accessing the original video. When accessing the original video, a copyright notice appears. But incredibly, someone made a capture of the YouTube page on the Wayback Machine, and incredibly, the video is there for viewing. I'm looking at some way to download a video from the Wayback Machine, but at least the file is available somewhere. Here's the link. Thank you so much. This was super helpful. Very helpful. Okay, so I spent the last 2 days, this person is down a rabbit hole. Holy moly. It means the entire DVDs exist. There's still a ton more missing content. Interesting. That makes sense. All right. So I've spent the last 2 days searching about Vermilion Pleasure Night, and well, you were partly right about it being lost media. Luckily, the official webpage from the 2000s is still online, and there's the entire schedule of all 25 episodes. In my research, I found that 137 performances were shown. Of these, only 67 are on DVDs. Yeah, basically half of the show was only shown on Japanese television and is potentially lost. A big part of these lost performances were the special guests, exactly 18. Basically, a musical presentation that appeared at the end of almost every episode. Another big part were the little gags commenting some funny news, horoscopes, little quizzes, things that really wouldn't make sense if put on the DVD, so very topical things, I'm assuming. Disregarding these shows, 25 standard format sketches are not on the DVD release. In this case, being 70 potentially lost performances, I could find 8 of them on YouTube and on Nico Nico. The easiest one to find was the 4 episodes of Fukon Family that were not on the DVDs, since these episodes were released separately on other DVD collections. Someone uploaded a rip of one of the clips from 6 Singing Girls on Nico Nico. I also found one clip of the Tai Baimo animations. I also found some parts of other Tai Baimo animations on a documentary on YouTube, so I consider this as partially found. Of the more incredible finds, I found 2 rips of the special guest performances, one on YouTube and another on Nico Nico. Of all the lost ones, the most interesting ones, it shows the character Pink Frog, which is the personification of the show's director, Yoshimasa Ishibashi. Excuse me. I found some on links to all the episodes of 1 Point English on YouTube, but they are not available since 2010. According to the Wayback Machine, it was deleted by the user himself. There are some sketches that the site says are on the Japanese DVD, but I couldn't find. Maybe they're on the extras section. I can't confirm this because I don't have the DVDs. Basically, this is the lost media situation of the show. I ended up organizing all this in this disorganized spreadsheet. I will try to research more and see if other people organize to find other lost parts of the show. Edit some extras. I also found a rip of the music album Rise, or Lise, on Nico Nico, and a rip of the Cupie Cupie DVD on YouTube. Cupie Cupie is an artistic group of the director of the show, Yoshimasa Ishibashi. It doesn't exactly have something related on VPN sketches, but it's a content that I found searching about VPN links on the spreadsheet. Interesting, very interesting. Boy George is one curious figure, so it makes sense given how... Wait, Boy George was up in here, what? Rest in peace, by the way, damn. Boy George from Culture Club, of all people, had an interview on this for some reason. That's so interesting. You know, there are a lot of Western artists that got really popular in Japan. Like the commercials are one thing, like the Britney Spears commercial, the Arnold Schwarzenegger commercials, the gosh, there's the ones with Nicolas Cage. Like, American celebrities are well known, but as far as musical acts, he's alive and kicking. I'm thinking of George Michaels. Never mind. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I was thinking of George Michael. I'm so sorry. Sylvester Stallone commercials, yeah, that too. Gosh, I feel so bad, but like between like Prince and Bowie and George Michael all passing like fairly like close to each other. I for some reason I grouped them in there. That's crazy. That's crazy of me. The Twin Peaks Japanese commercials were top tier, for real. Every time I stream, like when I used to do IRL, like FleshTuber streaming, as if that term, I think that term's kind of cringe, but you know what I mean, just like IRL, like me as a person streaming. People would always recommend those gosh dang Twin Peaks commercials. They are so odd. I think I reacted to them like 2 or 3 times on stream. They are so interesting. Tarantino was the best because he absolutely volunteered to do it. Yeah. No, but what I was saying is, like, some American artists were, like, super popular. Like, Tiffany is a good example. There were a lot of Japanese commercials in the 80s with Tiffany in them. Cyndi Lauper, I believe she, was at Kohaku one year, that New Year's, concert contest, like, you know, the male artist versus the female artist. I believe Cyndi Lauper performed at Kohaku one year. Madonna has performed on Japanese TV. Like, it's actually, like, I know mostly the 80s stuff because I'm a big 80s music fan. But I love your voice. Thank you so much, Video Phone. That's very sweet of you. But yeah, you know, like a lot of artists from America or the West were actually quite popular in Japan. Strawberry Switchblade is another really popular example. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I saw a video that kind of discussed them that I really want to watch later on. The ears are cute too. Thank you so much, Video Phone. I like her ears, how they bounce around. Anyways, let's check a look at the spreadsheet. Okay, cool. Okay, so these, let's look at the legend. What does green mean? What does blue mean? Nani. I'm assuming green means found, right? And we can look at that old, okay, lost media. Okay. I see. So desu ne. Whoa, that is not appropriate. Okay. Alright, okay, I don't think we can watch this actually, like, on stream. But, yeah, there's a spreadsheet. There is quite a significant amount of lost media. So, that's interesting. Let's look at the site, though. I'm sure the site's fine. It's, like, a really old webpage. I'm sure it can't show anything too bad. What? What? Wait, did I click on the right thing? I don't want to show any actual footage because A, copyright. B, those titles were a little sussy. I'm just saying. The official website, okay. There it is! In all its glory! Oh, Mikey. This is glorious. English page, click here. Okay, so they had intentions of, like, releasing this in the West. That's so odd. DVD... I can't see it. It's very zoomed out on mine. TV programu musician. Okay, my dumbass. English page, click here. Bamirion Pureja. Okay. That's something. That whatever's going on here. They did under ABDB. Yeah, no, that's true. I just, the English page thing is so interesting, because, like, I know ADV did localize it, but from this perspective, from the perspective of the Japanese webpage, what I'm saying is, it seems like that was maybe a plan from the start. Potentially. I'm just speculating. I'm just talking. 1 point English lesson is about how they'd say lewd stuff in English. It's better in execution than I make it sound. That makes sense. Site was last touched 2002, but still being maintained somehow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not on the web archive. I was about to be like, huh, I wonder if I can go to a different, like, screenshot. But this isn't a screenshot. The site's still up, and that's crazy. Long-awaited Color of Life, the film version of A Million Parts of Night, will be released unless it starts in Tokyo and will be shown subsequently all over the country. That's crazy, and that's not lost. That's not lost. The skits are lost because not all the skits were shown. That's crazy. There's a lot of lost media here. There should be a lot. God, I'm going on a tangent now. I should contribute to the LMW and make articles for stuff like this. Like, genuinely like this. And then I think Street Fighter Online was another one. Let me see. But I don't know what's required, because I don't think I have the power to do that. Like, I'm a collaborator, but I don't have the power to, like... Yeah, that's not this. I don't have the power to, like, make articles or anything like that. But I'm sure I could figure it out. Yeah, this is not that. NES port of the arcade game. That's wild. And this is not good Street Fighter. The first Street Fighter is not a very great game. Let's see. ADV carrying Japanese media in the West for so long. For real. For real. And even, like, fucking Streamline Pictures and 4Kids. Like, all those goats that are just not around anymore. ADV Films British dub? Nope. That's crazy! There should be a Street Fighter Online article. God, mad props to the guy who made that video. Because I had no idea that was a thing. Gosh, I need to make a freaking Street Fighter Online article if nobody beats me to it. I gotta figure out how to do that. Hi, Vein Dragon, how you doing? Surfing Night, as soon as I discovered the Japanimation section at Blockbuster, I went through streamlined ADV libraries as fast as the weekends would come. No, for real. That streamlined dub of the freaking... Hi, Vein Dragon. Hope you're doing well. The freaking... Oh, what was that? The streamlined dub of Akira. That still, like, just lives rent-free in my head. How Kaneda sounds like a middle-aged man for some fucking reason. I know Johnny on Bosch, like, voiced everyone back then, but, like, his version of Kaneda definitely fits a lot better, because, you know, it sounds like a teenager. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Pretty slow evening, just hanging out. How's the stream been? It's been good. We're actually kind of wrapping up now, unfortunately, but the VOD will be up. We're just checking out Lost Media, we talked about Street Fighter Online. We just talked about Vermilion Pleasure House, which is a Japanese variety show, and it has a lot of lost skits. And we talked about some other things. We talked about some Lost Media I am been acquiring as of late, like, it's not like full Lost Media itself, but it's a piece to a greater puzzle as far as a lost game. That'll be in the VOD. It would take a while to discuss again, but yeah, I obtained something that's potentially like a part of a big piece of Lost Media. TLDR. Trying to do my part in preserved media. It's real sleepy hours. No, for real, Smith Zero. I am so sleepy. I should probably try and stream earlier. That would probably fix this problem. I just always edit first. Thank you, Vein Dragon. Do the article or I'll quit cheeseburgers. I love cheeseburgers. I'll figure it out. I'm just so gosh dang busy, guys. I always have so much to do, like, between the VTuber stuff, and then the Sakura Stardust videos on main, and then I'm editing videos for the VTuber account too, like there's one I'm working on right now. I can show you guys what I'm working on. Hang on. Gotta open, Premiere. It is getting late though, so I do want to wrap this up a little, probably by 9. It's 8:40 where I'm at. But here, how do I screen share this? Give me a minute. Window share? Window capture. Window capture? Okay. It'll be Premiere. Okay. Okay, that is really big. So yeah, here's how I edit my videos, if anyone wants a little behind the scenes. But right now I'm editing a short. For my VTuber account. All the accounts, really. So yeah, we don't really need to like go through the whole thing. I think the sound's good. Let me see. Window capture, capture audio, come on. Okay, there we go. So here's my short. You don't really need to hear the audio. It's going to be up later, but this is what I'm working on. I can't see past my phone that's capturing my face, but here. Episode is so I'm working on a Hamtaro short. This is what, like, my video projects tend to look like. The Y2K one is much bigger than this. But yeah, I'm wrapping it up. It should be done fairly quickly. I'll probably have it out tonight. This Lost Hamtaro episode is so rare that it doesn't even exist at all. Despite there being a lot of documents. Hold up, I'm not even on the screen. Hang on. Let me fix the... There we go. Hi, I'm back. Oh, and chat's gone. No, chat. Okay, chat, sorry. But yeah, I'm just working on it. This isn't anything that's like a hot topic or anything. I just want to talk about it. This is Premiere Pro, by the way, if anyone wonders how I edit my videos. I used to use Premiere Elements. This isn't like what I've always been using. Even before that, I used to use like iMovie in like 2022 and 2023. But Premiere Elements is what I mostly use for my videos. This Lost Hamtaro episode is so rare that... By the way, the quality's a lot better, like, when it's rendered. Rare that it's a little blurry. It doesn't even exist at all. Despite there being a lot of documentation of it existing. Let me explain. The Warm Scarf Capade is a rumored lost episode of the 2000s anime Hamtaro. Fans first noticed the title listed on a Malaysian VCD release. This led people to believe that there was a forgotten or unaired episode. However, despite exhausting every possible resource, users on the Lost Media Wiki found no evidence of it existing. So yeah, it's just the short I'm working on for today. I'm almost done. Like, I got the VTuber stuff done. I just record instead of stream in OBS to just get this footage. And, yeah, I just got this little bit to edit. I'll probably do that after I stream and get it up. And get some background music. But as you can see, I got some sound effects already. Trying to learn what sound effects like VTubers and streamers use. I don't think I'm figuring it out. I don't really use the meme sound effects much in my main content, of course. And if you want to see like what I'm working on main, since I already got Premiere open, hang on, let me close it though real quick. I don't want to show anything personal by mistake. Where is it? Window capture, there we go. Give me 1 second. There it is. So yeah, the Y2K project file, I'm not going to show a whole lot because it would spoil the video, and this one I take a lot more seriously, but it's much bigger. Much, much bigger. This is just, I also edit them in portions. I don't edit like a whole ass hour-long video in one go. Like, I do them by chapter. But da-da-da-da! I like to listen to our main stuff in gaming. Thank you, that means a lot. I like when people use me as background noise. I think that's really nice. Kitchen Nightmare sound effect is always funny, no for real. I never really thought too much about the making of these videos. Yeah, it's hard. Editing is definitely the biggest thing. Like, out of everything, like, I can get the writing and recording done fairly quickly. It's the editing that takes fucking forever, man. It takes so long. Like, it drains me so quickly. Like, I can hire editors, but, like, if you've been watching my content as of late, you probably know that I've been having a lot of bad luck with editors. Her main content is usually creepy. I like listening to it before going to sleep. Yeah, that's why I have this, you know, VTuber side quest. So I can be myself a bit more, without having to think about, like, the tone and all that. But, here's the main video I'm working on right now. Hang on, I just gotta find where I put Premiere on the toolbar. So yeah, let me zoom in a bit. These are what my video topics typically look like. Like, I got this text layer, and I got the nest layers to make them jiggle around a bit. And got some vintage footage. Just going over some, like, background stuff. This is my Y2K video, but I'm just going over, like, the stuff before Y2K to, like, set the ground. Because this is an hour-long video, so, like, 5 minutes towards, like, the 80s and 90s isn't really a big deal. But, yeah. This is the chapter I'm currently working on, and then the other one's in another project file. But, yeah, it should be done fairly quickly. I just gotta add a bunch of shit in. Redo some sections, re-record some sections with some, like, new information I learned. But, it's coming along nicely. Give you a little... Yeah! When people think of Y2K Japan, or just Y2K in general... And this intro is going to be on camera, so it's not present right now. Most immediately picture holographic outfits, shiny flip phones, and while, yeah, it does look futuristic, it also looks nostalgic. Distinctly exploded just before and after the year 2000. Hence its title, Y2K. In the 80s was already abundant with technological advancement and futuristic aesthetics, especially in Japan. Bubblegum Crisis and Megazone 23, just to name a small portion. And those are just anime examples. There were a lot of inventions breaking new ground at this point in 9. It truly take their music anywhere and creating an compared to other media formats of the time, it was quite fun. The first consumer CD player. Compared to other media formats of the time, it was quite small, so the idea... And this is only like a minute-long sequence out of an hour-long video, so... It's a lot. It's a lot, not gonna lie, but it's really rewarding once it's all done. Looking forward to it. I was too young to remember Y2K, but I remember articles written on it around the time. Yeah, no, yeah, I was a small child during Y2K. I remember it, but not from the perspective of an adult. I just remember the video games and the, like, watching Nickelodeon and shit. Speaking of, I know you have Maiden Gaming, but we also return to gaming content. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on the gaming channel. That, unfortunately, is not my top priority, but I do plan to do the Nintendo Iceberg once I have a bit of a break, and once I'm done with these bigger projects, I'm gonna, like, gravitate over there again. But yeah, all the gaming stuff's gonna be over there, and if I ever, like, feel like I need to talk about some, like, gaming-related thing that just really irks me, that I want to talk about, like, some gaming news, it'll be over there, too. And I might do that whenever I, like, feel the need to. But yeah, no, I do plan to do that. I just have so much going on, man. I'm just one person, and it's hard. It's hard to, like, get this all done in, every day, like, you know. So right now, the VTuber and the main channel is just my top priority right now. Just to make sure there's content coming out steadily on both. feel you, Vane. I was born 2001, but still find it early 2000s charming and feel nostalgic. Yeah, no, I was born in the 90s. I'm old, but I do remember, like, I was very small during Y2K. Yeah, no, I do plan to get back to it, just eventually. But, yeah, no, I was a very small child during Y2K, but I do remember it. I do remember, like, the media at the time, at least. Like, if I watched, like, a Nickelodeon commercial break from the year 2000, like that, like, I would probably have the full auditory, like, soundtrack of, like, those commercials still in my head. Just, like, silly stuff like that. Like, I remember 9/11 happening, but I don't remember, like, how serious or scary it was. I just remember seeing it on the news. I was too young to understand, so I was really, like, not super present, but I was there. Here is a thought. Someone told me 2005 is 20 years ago. Let that sink in. Oh, trust me, it already has. It already has. It already has. I have a nephew. He was born in 2013, and he's 12 now. He's 12 now. He's a sentient, like, when I remember back when I was 12, like, he's a sentient human being now. I genuinely feel so fucking ancient, dog. I personally remember unreliable IR mice with lasers, not optical tracking instead of a ball. Those felt so cool. I remember those, yeah. I do remember those, but I also remember the ball mice, because my family had a Windows 98 when I was super, super small, and nobody knew how to use it. But I would use it for, like, MS Paint and Pokemon.com and Neopets as time went on, and I figured out shit. Yeah, aging sucks, man. Aging sucks, but aging is also a privilege, so I'm happy. Especially with all the health problems I've had throughout my life, I'm happy to be here. Like, even though aging sucks, and people calling you old, like little Gen Alpha kids with their, like 6, 7, whatever the heck that even means. Like, it sucks, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm happy to be here, and really, I'm not really that old, like, in the grand scheme of things. I'm not, like, 60 or anything like that. I'm just an aging young millennial. Still, despite how for adults of the era was very political because of 9/11, the early 2000s was such a cool and raunchy era. I love and miss it. Yeah, no, MTV in the early 2000s was insane. It was the shit that passed back then baffles me. Like, I wasn't really a girly person or who cared about, like, pop stars or anything like that of the era, so I didn't really pay attention to it. I was more, like, tomboyish and into, like, Nintendo games, and I was really into robotic pets, like, if anyone remembers Techno and those Poochie dog robots, just shit like that. So, like, I didn't really pay attention, but when I did see, like, MTV on TV, I'd be like, oh my god, those women are not wearing any clothes. Well, yeah. No, like, 80s kid myself, Voltron and Robotech were my first anime exposures, really. That's cool. Mine was probably Sailor Moon, the Deke dub. Either that or Pokemon. But I didn't really actively know they were anime. The ones I actively knew were anime were probably Inuyasha, Full Metal Alchemist, Gundam Seed, I remember seeing on, like, Toonami, or, like, Adult Swim, one of those. Cardcaptor Sakura was another one. One is called Cardcaptors, the dub of that. Let me think. Yu-Gi-Oh, of course. That's another staple, like Pokemon. I probably didn't know Yu-Gi-Oh was an anime, actually. Fruits Basket or on High School Host Club a little later. But the first one I probably, like, was like, oh, this is the anime, and I had interest in watching it, was probably Full Metal Alchemist and Inuyasha. Was probably my era when I started getting into that shit. Loved playing my Nintendo 64 back then. No, same. That was one of my first consoles. I was very small when it came out, but, yeah, I had one. I was more of a GameCube kid. That was more of, like, when I was old enough to, like, really enjoy the games. Inuyasha on Adult Swim was cool. Didn't understand it back then, but the action was sick. Yeah, no, for real. I remember seeing Inuyasha say "damn." Like my 10-year-old ass was like, he said "damn" on the TV, and I was like, oh! He said a curse word, and that was just, like, blew my mind back then. It was crazy. First anime is probably Transformers: Robots in Disguise 2001. I know there's a Transformers anime. Is that what it's called? People thought the guy was satanic back then. This guy was oh, Pikachu, you're right. No, people genuinely did. I went to a Lutheran school very briefly as a small kid. Not because my family was religious, but because my mom just wanted me to have a good education, and she didn't want me to, like, the schools in the area weren't great. The public schools. It's adapted from Car Robots. Interesting. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to talk about Pokemon I wasn't allowed to bring video game characters, like plushies of them for show and tell. It was so fucking weird, dude. Like, Pikachu, they genuinely thought Pikachu was satanic. It was insane. I remember playing with the Nintendo 64 back when my cousin until very late at night. As kids, we couldn't afford a GameCube, but we played the hell out of the Mario 64. Yeah, no, N64 is so goated. Like, really. Like, GameCube is a great console, but the N64 has so many bangers. Like, both of those are super nostalgic for me. Like, even when I had a GameCube, I would still play Ocarina of Time actively on my N64. Like, that's one of my favorite games of all time. Good thing, though, that the Pope has said that Pokemon is Christian safe. Gotta love being Catholic. No, yeah, for real. Like, I guess that's all that was necessary. Just this, you needed the seal of approval. I'm lucky that my mom just didn't, like, think of things like that. Think that, like, Pokemon were bad. She was more concerned about me, like, I don't know, dressing inappropriately. Because, like, you know, as a young girl, that doesn't look good. Like, you don't understand in real time as a teenager or a young girl, but if you dress scantily as a young girl, that's very uncomfortable. And that's the only thing she really cared about, that and me just like being out alone and potentially kidnapped. She didn't really care about stuff about like what I was consuming, really. I did think she would get mad though if she caught me watching like adult anime, like when I would watch like Inuyasha and all that shit, or like Evangelion even. I'd watch it on my TV, and whenever I'd hear it coming down the hall, I'd change the channel really quick to something, like, stupid. Just some, like, kid show. When I was, like, 11, 12. And, yeah, years later, I told her about it, and I showed her, like, anime, and I was like, oh, yeah, I used to watch these when I was a kid, but I changed the channel because I get scared you yell at me. And she's like, no, this is cool. I thought you were, like, watching porn or something. I was like, what? Nah. No. No, I was just watching anime, dude. She was worried I was watching, because I guess she, like, you know, in retrospect, she probably was very aware that I was changing the channel quickly and panicking. No, she thought she thought I was watching something much worse, I guess. No, I was just watching fucking Evangelion. Did your parents have the Playboy channel? No, but, like, you know, parents, like, in the boomer generation, like, in that, like, they don't really understand how, like, they know you can probably access those things somehow, they just don't know how. Like, I didn't ever have parental controls or anything. My parents just would monitor me physically. like, come in the room and be like, oh, you're not watching it, you're not on the computer looking at anything bad, are you? Like, stuff like that. There's no way she could have thought you were watching. No, for real, look. Like, she probably thought, like, HBO had it or something, which it probably did. Like, it probably did. I don't know for sure, because I had no interest in, like, looking that shit up. But, yeah, she genuinely thought, like, I was looking at porn. Like, it was either porn or, like violent, like, just, like, adult shit like that. I showed her the anime years later, and she was like, oh, that's it? And then when I'd be listening to music, like, I would, like, be listening to music on my iPod, and she would think I'd be listening to, like, violent, like boomers. They're boomers. And she would think I'd be listening to, like, this really violent, like, gangster rap when I was just sitting there listening to, like, the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack or something. Like, she would just, like, what she assumed I was actually listening to and consuming was wildly different from what I was actually consuming. Yeah, no, she absolutely, she thought I was watching porn, I guess. And, like, she never outwardly said that. She just kind of, like, gave me a side eye, like, oh, well, you better not be watching anything bad. And, like, in my mind, bad was, like, you know, violent anime. And I was just like, oh, gotta keep it secret. She really is a good mother. The concern about that seems today that all you see on violence in movies and sex on TV. Yeah, you could say, like, it really was, lucky. I'm trying to quote Family Guy, but, you know, Family Guy, I can't really fit that in, but I get your joke. I get the joke, Jeremiah. I get what you're saying. Anyways, Lost Media. We're getting so off topic. But yeah, no, my mom all this time. There's a joke somewhere. I swear to God. But yeah, no, she just wanted. You know, I'm an only child. I'm an only child. Like, I do have a nephew, but it's from, like, my stepmom. I'm an only child, and, like, I don't you know, my parents were just, they wanted the best for me. They wanted to protect me from things. You know, violent anime, I guess, like, who cares? But, I wanted to look at this. This is, like, here's my Lost Media selection of the week, I guess. Here's my, like, little hyperfixation. Hamtaro Lost Media. So there's apparently a lot of it. And that's why I drew that Hamtaro. My word, am I having a stroke? Holy crap. That's why I drew that Hamtaro little OC of my character. Because I've just been going on like a Hamtaro tangent all day. And like even yesterday. So like this is a lost piece. I'm making a short about this one. So you'll find out about it later. But it's like an episode that was listed on a DVD that actually doesn't exist at all. And like people are like, why is this listed then? It's a very interesting piece. But there's another one. There's another one I find so interesting. Where is it? Where is it? This is a Lost Hamtaro special. And it has like live action segments telling you how to take care of hamsters. And it's super, super lost. It's super lost. And the Tubido made a video on it. And I don't think there's any like actual like screenshots. There's just like a database, and then there's a 2chan thread talking about it, and there's a database of the episode. But the actual episode itself and any like visuals from the episode, they're nowhere to be found. They're just not there, dog. Like they're not. What the fuck? The site will not load. Okay, there we go. But here it is. Tokuto Hamataro. Yeah. So it did air on in 2003 on February 11th. And it's just a one-off special. But it's nowhere to be found online. Nowhere to be found. Lost Hamtaro special. But I'll read the wiki article just because, you know, nobody suggested this aside from me. I'm just going on a little Hamtaro tangent because I'm a big Hamtaro fan. Like, this is like such a core memory watching Hamtaro on like Cartoon Network before Samurai Jack and Justice League would come on. Like, I freaking love Hamtaro. Hamtaro, I remember a bit of it. Yeah, it definitely was short-lived in the West, but it definitely was popular in Japan. Like, it had a lot more episodes over there. Same, yeah, no, for real. What is the Hamtaro character tier list? Oh, I'll for real do that. Don't even test me. I'll do it. I really love the tiger one, the girl tiger one, and Penelope. Penelope's also quite cute. I forgot her name in the Japanese, but I wish I could have watched Hamtaro. I was too young to probably remember. Yeah, it was on very briefly. Like, even when it was on TV, it was only on for like a year or two. Like, at the most. Like, it had a very brief run. Where does Bijou rank? Probably A or S. I love Bijou. I know her name is Ribbon. Ribbon in the Japanese dub. But I like her a lot. Her design's so cute. Alright, but let me read this. I'm gonna go back into narration mode here. Kenta no shoku tanken Hamtaro to issho. Kenta's Food Exploration with Hamtaro is a Japanese television special that aired on TV Tokyo on February 11, 2003. This TV special is about a fifth grade boy named Kenta who learns about the importance of thinking about and practicing good eating habits provided by the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries. Okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with taking care of hamsters. It's just about eating well, I guess. I guess I just kind of connected the dots there because, you know, hamsters. Kenta, played by Takuma Shinoda, is a 5th grade student who transferred from Tokyo to Kagoshima, is struggling to fit in with his new classmates. Additionally, with both parents working full-time, he eats alone every day, often buying lunchboxes. Hamtaro and his homeroom teacher, played by Shoko Aida, keep a watchful eye on him. Through experiences such as sharing a hot pot meal with his classmates' families and participating in a school field trip to learn about the production and distribution of food, Kenta learns about the systems and challenges involved in ensuring food safety. This helps him understand what he needs to learn and practice to lead a healthy and secure lifestyle. Finally, the importance of promoting food education, gaining knowledge about food selection, production and distribution systems, nutrition and health, and putting this knowledge into practice is emphasized as essential for everyone to lead a healthy lifestyle. Information. This TV special is not widely known, and there are no videos or even screenshots available on the internet. This TV special became known through a post on a thread titled, "Do You Have Strange Memories?" on the Tubido bulletin board, an anonymous message board created by Japanese YouTuber, the Tubido, who's goated, by the way. I've talked to them occasionally, like through Twitter, and kind of like I've covered some mysteries they've covered in the past, and even like one specific like image mystery I kind of helped find like the resolution to. Like they're super cool. Their content is super goated, but it is in Japanese. So back in the day, there was an animated series based on a comic called Hamtaro, and I used to watch it a lot when I was a kid. Yeah, and Hamtaro was based on a manga. One day I saw an announcement on TV saying that a live-action version of Hamtaro was going to air. I actually remember watching that live-action version. I still remember a little bit of the story. Then, about 10 or 15 years later, I suddenly got curious about that live-action version and started looking into it. But no matter how much I searched, I couldn't find any information about it ever being broadcast. It's not even on Wikipedia, and searching for terms like Hamtaro live action or Hamtaro drama yields no relevant results at all. If it's just that I didn't research properly or that the information isn't available online, but the show was actually broadcast, that would be fine. But if such a thing never existed in the first place, then what exactly is the live action version of Hamtaro that I remember? It's quite a mystery. It's strangely specific for something I might dismiss as a dream or my imagination. It was from when I was a child, so there's a possibility that I'm mixing it up with another drama. When I say live action version, Hamtaro was animated, but the other characters and backgrounds were all live action. Like live action footage with animated characters drawn over it. The story is roughly: a lonely elementary school boy who was bullied by his classmates and had no friends befriends Hamtaro, gradually becomes accepted by those around him and makes friends. However, Hamtaro eventually disappears. That's a whack. That's wacky. The following is what I remember at the live-action version of Hamtaro. Items marked with the question mark are particularly vague memories. It was a standalone episode. There were likely no connections to the original work or the anime version, and it had its own unique settings specific to the live-action adaptation. Yeah, Hamtaro's owned by a girl in the anime, so it would not correlate to the actual anime at all, I don't think. I recall a teaser announcement like, "Finally, it airs tonight," or "Coming next." The characters and backgrounds were live action, but Hamtaro was animated. The voice acting was the same as in the anime version. The protagonist is a young boy in elementary school, probably in the lower or middle grades. He was being bullied by a classmate, or at least there were hints that he didn't have any friends. As a result, the protagonist is generally expressionless and blunt. One night, Hamtaro appears in front of the protagonist. The location is presumably the protagonist's room. The protagonist responds to Hamtaro in a blunt and annoyed manner. When the protagonist goes to school, Hamtaro follows him, ? Only the protagonist can see Hamtaro, and there is a scene where the protagonist notices this. One day, the protagonist's entire class goes on a field trip. Hamtaro also follows them. The destination is probably a farm, as there is a scene where the protagonist is looking at cows in a barn. Hamtaro is surprised by the cows. After returning home, the protagonist looks up cows in an animal dictionary. Hamtaro is also watching. After various events, the protagonist starts to smile and makes friends. He also starts to get along well with Hamtaro, ? So maybe he doesn't get along with Hamtaro. Well, who the fuck knows? One night, Hamtaro's figure gradually fades and disappears from the protagonist's sight. At that moment, Hamtaro says goodbye. That is crazy. That is crazy work to have a kid just like make friends with Hamtaro, and then he just disappears one day, so he doesn't know if he's like imagining it or not, if Hamtaro was ever real. Before Hamtaro completely disappears, there was a scene where the protagonist noticed that Hamtaro's figure is fading. ? So, maybe that didn't happen. When I look at it this way, the Hamtaro live-action version is treated more like a fairy than a hamster. Only the main character can see Hamtaro, and he fades away and disappears at the end. In terms of mixing live action and animation, it resembles the town where Mariko can meet. I think that's an episode of Chibi Mariko-chan. I'm not really familiar with that. Though the broadcast years are completely different. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like an urban legend. I don't know a whole lot about that. I know there's a Doraemon version where like the creator of Doraemon like said goodbye to the audience the night he passed away or something. It's another popular urban legend. Anyways, in my opinion, it might be because the voice actor for a fairy-like character in a certain drama was the same as Hamtaro's voice actor, so I mistakenly thought that character was Hamtaro. At the time, I probably didn't even know the concept of voice actors. On May 24, 2025, the Tubero uploaded a video about this matter. In the video, the Tubero speculated that either a single episode drama featuring a character resembling Hamtaro had been broadcast, or that a single episode drama featuring fairies had been broadcast on another channel during that time slot, when Hamtaro was supposed to air. And that poster had mistakenly recalled the two. He then asked viewers for further information. Subsequently, commenters who claimed to have watched the same drama as the original poster appeared in the video's comments. It's really cool. Hamtaro sacrifices himself to end perfect Cell's tyranny once and for all. Oh my god, bro. It sounds like it would make kids cry. No, absolutely. If Hamtaro fucking disappeared in front of me. Who said bye? Hang on. Alright, folks, I gotta go. But do take care tonight. Good night, Sakurita. I always enjoy your streams. Sleep tight. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you very much. We're gonna wrap up soon. Thank you for joining us, as always. But yeah. I'm gonna wrap up soon after I read this. I just want to share this with you all because I just think this is so interesting, and I don't have any other outlet to explain it. I'll probably make a short on it later, but I just want to explain. This is something I've been reading up on. Anyways. So yeah, another commenter came about. Subsequently, commenters who claimed to watch the same drama as the original poster appeared in the video's comments. I think it was broadcast in the 2000s. I was surprised because I remembered it so clearly. The protagonist was a boy who went to school carrying a school bag. I remember a scene where Hamtaro from the anime came out of the school bag and surprised him. I also remember a scene where Hamtaro cheered him up when he was feeling down. In the final scene, the bullied child, the protagonist, and a woman who appears to be his teacher are talking on a bench. Just as the story was coming to a nice conclusion, Hamtaro from the anime appeared and said something like, "Good job," in his usual anime series voice. Furthermore, it was confirmed that a television special resembling the drama was broadcast in 2003 according to the TV drama database, so there's proof of it. And a press release was discovered in the database. This revealed some details about the drama. Additionally, it was confirmed that a post mentioning the television drama was made in the 2chan thread titled "When I Fall in Love, I Become Stronger, Pokto Hamtaro 10. Okay, that's quite the title. Within the thread, there is a mention that Hamtaro disappears at the end, and sunflower seeds appear, which aligns with the testimony found in the Tubero Keijiban thread stating that Hamtaro completely disappears. Therefore, the likelihood that Hamtaro live-action version in... Jesus, okay. Therefore, the likelihood that Hamtaro live-action version is indeed this TV special has significantly increased. Okay, so I think what they're trying to say is the likelihood that it's a Hamtaro special and not something with a fairy is more likely now. In addition, on December 25th, 2003, the Kagoshima City Statistics and Information Center held an event called Children's Observation Day, where children learned about food and agriculture. As part of this event, a video recording of this TV special was shown in a conference room. Okay, so that makes sense, that correlates. So yeah, it's a Lost Hamtaro special, and this is the, announcement of it airing. So yeah, I hope you guys found that interesting. Because I certainly did. Let's see. Check YouTube real quick. I love your Hachiware mouse, by the way. It's so cute. Thank you. I will say it is a bitch to click with, especially when video editing, because the clicker is, kind of to the northwest of the ear. So, it's not direct. So I've had to kind of relearn how to click things just to have this fucking Hachiware mouse. But thank you very much. I like it a lot. You were a couple channels away from Showtime, so not completely wrong. No, for real. Oh, good night, Pink, Octopede64, good night. Besides Pokemon, Hamtaro was some of the earliest anime I've seen. I must have been 4 or 5. Yeah, no, for real, that was probably the same. That was, one of the earliest. I didn't know it was anime. I just thought they were cute and, watching it. It was just a fun, happy show. There was no conflict. It's just the hamsters fucking off each episode. It's just so cute and, slice of life-y. If you want a cute slice of life that's just super happy all the time, I would definitely recommend Hamtaro. But yeah. I think that's enough lost media for today, gamers. I'm getting so tired. Let me just move over. And then I can say goodnight to you all properly. There we are. Right up in your face. Well, yeah, I think I'm going to bed, y'all. Thank you for joining me. It's been quite fun. I'll stream again soon. I don't have a set schedule right now just because, I am just going according to how I feel for right now, and especially since I'm running the other channel and just editing a lot of videos right now, who knows. You're welcome, LeonXA. Thank you for joining me. And thank you, Paprika Maro. Thank you so much. And Overnight Bear, thank you for that amazing summary of Hamtaro trying to, stop Perfect Cell's tyranny, though. I hope it was not in vain. Thank you, Overnight Bear. I'm glad you could catch it as well. Oh, and thank you for the sub, or I believe you subbed. I said thank you for everyone who subbed because I missed it last stream. Unfortunately, because I dumbass didn't actually like look and read the comments. I didn't know you could from the Twitch app. But I was just looking from like desktop and didn't see it. But thank you very much for the sub. I thanked everyone earlier in this stream if anyone wants to catch the VOD of that. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Good night, Sakura. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, Vane Dragon. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, I'm gonna get some rest or probably edit a bit. Jade Simpson Kikta, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you as always, everyone. You guys are awesome. And I plan to stream again in the future. I'm just gonna make some more shorts and promote my VTuber stuff. And then just like, you know, keep streaming and keep doing it. Oh yeah, Simon Asai, thank you so much, friend. Thanks for the streams and good night. Thank you, the Luller. Thank you so much for joining me. But yeah, bye bye everyone. I go to sleepies now. Night night. Night night, surfing night.